The Parkway up through Delmar's pretty busy. Westbound 70 got slow stuff from the airport all the way out to the Blanchette Bridge. T.R. Hughes through Highway K and Lake St. Louis out through A. It's jammed A to Z in Wentzville after that. 364, you're slow. Creve Coeur Lake Bridge out to the Veterans Bridge because of an earlier crash. Eastbound's jammed on the Veterans Bridge because of an incident. Westbound 64 backed up approaching Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, but it's slow to Hanley. Stop and go pockets from 170 out through Clayton Worcester. They were clearing an incident there. It's heavy again from 364 out to 70. Eastbound 64, east of Clarkson to 141 and east of Lindbergh all the way in through McCausland is slow. South 270, Olive down to 64. Manchester down through Gravois, and then a little slow approaching 55 after that. 44's rain slowed from, good grief, like Grand out to Elm, and then it's bogged down again from the Merrimack. Jams west of Bowles out through the Antire area almost. They were working to clear that crash. Eastbound 44 east of Antire. Looks like they did, but eastbound 44 still a solid jam back to the Merrimack east of 109. South 55, Arsenal down through Bates. Couple of pockets, Butler Hill, Merrimack bottom. After that, you're in the clear. Next update at 5:20 from the Michael's Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
Kick off summer this Memorial Day with Artistic Decks. We're celebrating with American-style value and rolling back prices on every precision-built deck. Get the backyard you've always wanted. Call 314-280-0821. Artistic Decks, making dreams affordable.
News, traffic, and the latest on the Redbirds. This is the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
It's Monday on Redbird Rush Hour. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here. What do you think, boys? Tarps off?
Tarps off, baby.
Start going for it. No. I'm so bright underneath. I'm so white underneath. I would blind people watching us on the stream, so I got to be careful with that. I do not tan, as they say.
Well, I think, listen, man, when the Cardinals marketing department gets a plan, in a couple of weeks or less than 2 weeks, Cardinals will have like a homestand where there's like three teams coming to town. So it's a long homestand. So the Cardinals marketing department, which is outstanding, they'll have a plan in place to have more of, I call it the tarps-off terrace.
Yeah, I love it.
That's my
we
name.
We got Nick's comment on the screen now from you saying that earlier. It's a great idea. Play with it. Have fun.
Tarps-off terrace, and then, as I said on Glover this afternoon, you could have an adjacent section specifically in honor of Ali Mormal. You call it, shout out to Elvis Costello, call it Oliver's Army, right?
Yeah.
And, you can have some fun with this, man. I mean, I think they can, Matt, I think they can find a way, now that the gang from Steve Austin University showed them how. I think they can build on that. I hope so.
And that group is going to be there for one more game tomorrow night. They have announced on their social media that they will be there to lead the tarps off to tomorrow, and then they will leave it up to the us fine folks in St. Louis to continue. Look, this was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. I hope it continues on. I find it to be funny that it took a bunch of kids from Texas to kind of show what has to happen. And I've had conversations about this a lot over the last couple of years, because I would bring up the fact that there are other markets, other baseball stadiums that the environment can be better than what it is in St. Louis. And part of that has been the fact that everything in St. Louis has been so attached to winning that when it's not winning, the environment becomes a little bit stale, where there are some other ballpark environments that survive not winning a little bit better. And I'm not saying put winning as a second priority. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I am saying, if it's not going to be a team that's winning a lot, you can still have fun at the ballpark. There's lots of places where that happens, and people would always push back on me, and they would accuse me of saying, making excuses for why the team doesn't need to win, and that was never what I was doing. I just want to have more fun at the ballpark, win, lose, or draw. And it took some kids from a club baseball team in Texas to show that's what's going on.
Let me tell you something from personal experience as a college player, but also knowing a lot of college players that come through our program in town. If you want to know how to have more fun at a ballpark, you ask college players, college baseball players. That age, people who play, if you watch college baseball, there's a lot more fun going on than there is at a big league ballpark. And it's not to say we want to adopt all of that, right? We don't need it all, but a little bit of it adds to it because, look, the team being good is the root of this, right? Like the team being good and winning that game and winning leading up to this, that's what starts the fun, but it doesn't mean it has to just be that and that alone. You make a good point, Matt. There's more fun to be had other than trying to guess which hat the ball is under on the scoreboard.
That's well said. Both of you guys, kudos to you. And the way I look at it is this, and again, people are going to think I'm taking shots. I'm not really taking shots. I'm just speaking what I think. This is an incredible baseball franchise in the history of the sport, and it has got so many distinguished parts to their history, and so many distinguished luminary type players. I mean, it's been an amazing franchise through all this time, but this is where I think we're all getting to this. As much as we cherish that history, okay, the ballpark itself in 2026 can be more than just a kind of a quiet history museum.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Let's it's okay to crank up the rock and roll, so to speak, to have that kind of vibe, and people having a lot of fun, and people just letting it loose, and people just enjoying the game and doing stuff that's getting everyone else fired up. We don't need to have a museum. Okay. It's a ballpark. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be loud.
Yeah. And look, these last few years, Matt, baseball has made some changes, and part of it was to appeal to younger audiences, allowing players to show personality, bat flips and celebrations, and we're going to acknowledge the dugout on home runs, and we're going to have a little doubles dance if we hit it. Like, that fun appeals to younger fans, and we can see it in the numbers and in the ratings. Younger fans are tuning in more. They are all across the country.
100%. And baseball it hasn't always been the coolest sport, especially when you're comparing it to basketball and you're comparing it to football, but it can be, and the athletes who are involved in it can do that. And look, I think the Cardinals deserve a little bit of credit. And I mention this every once in a while, and I always cringe when I hear myself saying it because I never, ever, ever want to compare the Cardinals to the Colorado Rockies in any way. But the Rockies did figure something out because they realized, hey, we're not going to win baseball games, so we're going to make our ballpark a club. And what they did was they built this big party deck out in right field. When you are out in the right field party deck at Coors Field, you literally cannot see the field. They built walls between the field and where the deck is going on. You are not at a baseball game. What your ticket is it's a cover charge to a club.
All right.
And you go up to the right field and you do your thing. Now, the Cardinals saw that, and they saw the success that they were having with it. They know, hey, we're the St. Louis Cardinals. We can't build walls that cover up the ball of the field. Like, that's never going to play in St. Louis, nor should it ever play in St. Louis. But what they did was they did build that area out in right field, the Budweiser Terrace, and that's always a popping area. They do the $5 beers. They've got the yard games that are going on out there and things like that. They saw what Colorado did, and they St. Louisified it out in right field, and that's a really fun area of the ballpark. So it is okay to find ways to have fun at the ballpark.
They're competing for the entertainment dollar. That's what it
Yes.
comes down to.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and right now you've got the added bonus of being pretty good. And the guys on the field are pretty fun, right? So it's not just like you're not, sorry for the pun, for the old saying, but like, it's not lipstick on a pig, which is, a harder thing to do when a team is really bad. And we haven't seen really bad here, right? We haven't seen a 100-loss team. No. That's really bad. We haven't seen that. What we've seen is mediocrity, and now we're seeing that excitement. And that's what I love about this weekend, and we won't spend the whole show, obviously, on this, but what I love about the weekend is this is a natural thing that just happened because some guys were at the ballpark having a good time, and other people saw them having a good time and wanted to join in, and obviously the team is doing its part to have that atmosphere pay off.
No doubt about it, and I think it's great that it happened organically, as you said, Wheels, and it was spontaneous, and it was just something like where all of a sudden a party broke out, and everybody said, boy, I want to go over there where the party is. And it was innocent fun, too. It's not like people were acting like animals. I mean, they may have been, like I was joking. I'll call the Stephen F. Austin guys. they're spirit animals.
Yeah,
they're bringing a little animal house to Busch Stadium.
Yeah,
but not in a way that's offensive to anybody. Not in any way that goes over the line. I mean, they know how to have a great time, and like that scene Saturday where Ollie brings him into the clubhouse. I mean, what a fantastic scene! It was just nothing but merriment, and both sides. I mean, the kids and the players are just smiling at each other, like such mutual appreciation. And I thought that was one of the best moments at Busch Stadium since the final year of Albert and Yachty. And, you know, I thought that was a killer moment. I really did.
Yeah.
They filled up 4 sections on Friday night completely organically before Oliver Marmol bought a single ticket for anybody. They filled up 4 full sections. I was on the field doing the Star of the Game interview after the game on Friday night. I've done that a handful of times. I have never felt the energy, even after I've been down there for walk-offs before. I've never felt the energy that I felt on Friday night. 4 full sections. And then the other side of this, not everybody is still sold on Oliver Marmol, and a lot of us who know Ollie, know his personality, know who he is as a guy. What a great opportunity for him to show off that a little bit. And I think many people in the Cardinals fan base have come around on him a little bit because of this as well. I mean, there's so many different tentacles of positivity that's a result of this.
Yep. And Ollie tweeted for the first time in like 6 years to tweet about it, which, by the way, good policy for a major league manager to just stay off there. It's probably a really good idea. All right, so we've had fun with this, and this is legit fun, and we can have fun with what's happening between the white lines, too. That's what we're going to start doing when we come back, because there's a lot of good things happening, particularly on the pitching side. We've got some really good things happening on the player development side that we can add as we go along today as well, so a lot to do. Before we do anything else, though, Byrne, tell us about our mutual friend, Stewie.
I'd love to. You know, Steuart's American Mortgage, it's just a great family business. Steuart and his son, Jonathan, taking great care of St. Louis families on both sides of the river. And Stewie Rosenblum is proud to own and operate this wonderful, friendly, customer-friendly, service-oriented business. It's Steuart's American Mortgage Corporation. There's a special offer going right now for new clients for a limited time only. Stewie has an unbelievable deal. New customers buying a home, 1% discount on the interest rate for the first year. So for the first year of your new loan, lock in a 1% lower interest rate on that 30-year loan, and you still get the bagel loan, which means no closing costs. You get the best of both worlds. 30-year mortgage interest rate lower by 1% for the first year, the new loan, plus the bagel loan, new clients only. The bagel loan is what makes all this work, because through all these years, Stewie Rosenblum has always found a way to save you money, and also kind of lead you through the jungle where it's very confusing about how do I do this? How do I do that? You can always get in touch with him on his personal cell phone. That includes his current customers or new customers. If you have any questions, no problem. 314-324-4440. Again, 314-324-4440. It's a great time to refinance. And when you do, no appraisal fees, no closing costs, no title fees, no broker fees. If you refinanced 3 years ago or so, it's time to do it again. One more thing, you buy a home, take out a loan for $200,000 or more, you pay 0 lender fees. The bagel loan makes all that possible, and also quick closes in as little as 10 days. So one more time, get in touch with Stewie. Take advantage of this great offer. You can Google bagel loan or call his personal cell 314-324-4440. It's Steuart's American Mortgage, NMLS 226715.
With summer here and the kids home full time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
The final home game of the season is here, St. Louis. Your St. Louis Battlehawks hit the field Friday, May 29th at 7 p.m. against the Dallas Renegades at the Dome at America Center. It's Battlehawk Kids Day, packed with family fun, Battlehawks energy, and an Archie bobblehead giveaway while supplies last. Join Battlehawks Nation. Bring the whole crew and help close out the season the only way St. Louis knows how. Loud and proud. Caw-caw. Because caw is the law. Get tickets starting at just $18 at UFLBattlehawks.com or Ticketmaster.
Traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, there's still a ton of slow going out there. This traffic report's a service of the United Way of Greater St. Louis, helpingpeople.org. Westbound 70, actually slow going on 44 from the Poplar out onto 70. It goes all the way around the Bend O'Fallon Park through the city limits. From the airport out through 5th Street, it's slow. 94 out through Zumbo. From west of 370 all the way out through Highway K, it's busy. Then it jams from A out through Z. That S-bend at the railroad overpass looks like maybe the left lane's flooded, so it shut down, so it's only the right lane open. Solid jam there. Northbound 270 slow from Dorset up to 70. Eastbound 270 east of Lindbergh to Washington Elizabeth is pretty busy. 364 west of 141 out to 94 Mugi, kind of slow there. Southbound 170 delays at Ladue. North 170 the Parkway up through Olive looks kind of slow, and then 70 up to 270. Westbound 64 jam Science Center to Clayton Skinker. It's slow to Hanley. It backs up through the McKnight area because of an earlier problem. Then it's heavy again. Clayton Worcester to 270. Slow at 364 jam west of Lake St. Louis Boulevard because of that 70 backup. South 270, 364 all the way down through 44 in Gravois. North 270 from 44 up past Ladue's pretty busy. Westbound 44 a little heavy across River de Pere at Shrewsbury. It's backed up from Bowles midway to between 141 and Antioch because of earlier troubles. And eastbound 70 east of the Mutual Veterans 64 delays both ways between 157 and 255. I'm Roger Brand at the michaelsflooringoutlet.com Traffic Center.
When our neighbors need support, United Way brings people together, helping families, helping children, helping people through everyday challenges, and building hope for tomorrow. Unite with us at helpingpeople.org.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, it's Monday on Redbird Rush Hour. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here. All right, let's get to the on-field stuff. Obviously, another series win. They haven't lost a series, as you pointed out earlier today on DGS, Bernie. They haven't lost a series since getting swept by Seattle, and that was a while ago. And now we turn from a difficult stretch, a really tough test that they passed well, and now we get to another one where it's all Central Division coming up for the rest of the month.
Yeah, and then even on the back end of that, there's a series against Texas, but then they play Cincinnati again.
Right.
I think it's like 15 of the next 18 games
Yes.
are Central Division. I think that's pretty.
Yep.
Listen, I think this will be the most intriguing stretch of the season. I know there was a lot of fuss made over that 17 days, 17 games. I never got worked up about that because I kept looking ahead and I'm saying, wait a minute. All the Central teams are lining up to take the Cardinals on, and basically the Cardinals are going to be playing Central teams for almost 3 weeks straight. And that's going to tell me, I think it'll tell all of us a lot more because this will be their first true test against their rivals. Just line them all up and may the best team win.
We always do the whole, we're going to learn a lot about this team after this stretch.
Well, we did, though. But we did.
Yeah, we did. But, I mean, that is a sportscaster cliche right there, if there ever has been one. And we did it. I was there. I said it 10 million times before the 17 and 17. Yeah. I will raise my hand.
We did learn. We learned that they can play.
So I say all that to say this. We're going to learn a lot about this team here over the this next series of games against NL Central teams.
It's an interesting. So when do you guys feel like you have a grasp on a team? Like not 100% like this will be their record, but like, yeah, it's real, or I'm still worried, because to me it's usually about the halfway point where I'm like, all right, I have a feel like I know what they are, even though it can change. I mean, we've seen dramatic fall-offs in the second half. We've seen dramatic turnarounds in the second half, but I think just general normal. Get through the end of June. I think you're pretty much, understanding of what you are.
Boy, that's a tough one. I still have some wounds that haven't closed from them getting to 9 games over 500 last June 29th and then basically falling apart.
Yeah.
And I know it's a different team.
Yep.
I know it's a whole different personality. It's got different strengths. It's got different weaknesses, different challenges. So I'm sort of violating one of my own rules, which is, one season doesn't have a lot to do with the next season. And I think the Cardinals are proving that now, given the preseason expectations of the doom and gloom and the skies falling and everything else. They're actually better after moving on from Brendan Donovan, Nolan Arenado, Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras. Nobody thought that would happen. But so I feel really good about this team. But quickly, I see an offense that's really struggling in May, really struggling. I see a pitching staff that has been outstanding over the last 30 games, but I think it's fair to wonder, can that last? Can that hold up? And, I'm going to go back to Matt Pauley. We're going to learn a lot about our St. Louis Cardinals over the next month or so. No, we will. I think a month from now, we will have learned a lot.
I hate not to answer the question, Kevin, but I really think it's different every year. And I don't think there's like a thing, well, generally it's around this time, but there's an occasional anomaly. I think every year is a different year, and some teams are dealing with different things where an identity is going to be more known because of the people that are on the team and the track records that go along with it. And sometimes you don't have track records. Sometimes there's injuries. Sometimes there's weird scheduling quirks. And not to not answer the question, but I think you know when you know. And I don't put a date on it. I just, at some point in time, you kind of get a figure, you get a handle on who this team is. And I can tell you, there's been times, I've covered Major League Baseball for a fair amount of time. There's been times where in like July and August, I'm sitting here going, I still don't know who these guys are. And that doesn't happen that often, but I really think it's a unique thing every single year.
Well, I would say that feeling there is the identity then. Right? Like you get to that point, like, well, your identity is who the hell knows.
Yeah.
But like it's there's no science to it, and there's nothing that can be like, yes, by this deadline, But the more tests you pass, the more certainty we can have. Right? If Walker is still like this in another month, and we've seen nothing to say that he's got a big slump coming. He's recovered from one. He looks great again. And I think what's interesting, we got a question. We don't have time for this, so why don't we marinate on this during the break, and we can hit it on the next segment, because we had a question earlier. Let me find it here. It was from Jonathan. Said, hey, guys, do we think we get AAA call-ups anytime soon? And as you mentioned, Byrne, some of the offense has not gone well. We know that we have one guy coming in Lars Nootbaar. We don't know exactly when, but it's sometime in the next 3 weeks, because by the end of 3 weeks, his rehab assignment is over. And by that time, by the time that expires, he'll be here in one form or another. We can kick around whether there's any more help for the offense that could be coming. Not now. I don't think it's now, but in the not too distant future if things don't turn. But first up, Byrne, let's talk about Celiga.
Oh, Celiga Heating and Cooling, Daikin Comfort Dealer, been taking care of St. Louis families for 100 years. How about that? One family, the Celigas, 4 generations of them. Dan Celiga, the latest family member, running the thing, owning the thing. I just love the family story. Are you kidding me? 1927, the same family still doing this, taking care of their fellow citizens. I love this, including the Miklases. We've been calling them for 18, 19 years. They were here last week checking out our air conditioning to make sure we're ready for the hot weather. That's what they do. That's why we're in the maintenance program. They come out and make sure everything's working great. Catching a little minor thing, they can tweak, they can adjust, and you're all good to go. Just to make sure everything's running smoothly. The one thing about Celiga, there's a lot of things about Celiga Heating and Cooling. The professionalism and the knowledge are just fantastic. But, man, the trust factor, the honesty, the integrity, that's so important in today's climate. You don't know who to believe. You don't know who to trust. Celiga's got 100 years that say trust them. They've got me talking about them, a family that's been with them nearly 20 years, saying, we can trust these guys. We never have to worry about that. So they're the best. If you need any help whatsoever, heating and cooling, if you have an emergency, I hope not, but if you do, go to CeligaHeatingandCooling.com. Check out the phone number there. Take a look at that maintenance program called the Priority Club, and you will be happy that you become the latest Celiga family. Go to CeligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Bernie Miklasz on KMOX is sponsored by Steuart's American Mortgage, home of the Bagel Loan, and by Celiga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin Comfort dealer.
This is Megan Lynch. 250 doctors go to Ophthalmology Associates. That's why I trust them. Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
At 5:30, we've got rain and 76 degrees downtown at the Arch, sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. A flash flood warning has been issued for St. Charles, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City until 8:15. Heavy thunderstorms. Lots of rain across the St. Louis metro area. Up to 2 inches of rain have already fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of a ½ inch to 2 inches are possible again in St. Charles, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City. And flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly in portions of those areas. From the city to O'Fallon, with St. Charles, St. Peter's, Florissant, Chesterfield, University City, Baldwin, Wentzville, Kirkwood, Maryland Heights in between. Also, if you're out at Babbler State Park, Castlewood, Confluence State Park, of the Missouri State Capitol, historic site Interstate 70 between exits 203, 231, and Interstate 44 between exits 261 and 277. Lots of rain has fallen, and the National Weather Service has issued a flash flood warning for St. Charles, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City until 8:15. SSM Health announces the region's first fully integrated maternal and newborn care center. KMOX Health editor Fred Bottomer reports the combined unit is a big part of the new Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital that opens late next year.
The president of SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, Dr. Hussein Morandi, says right now too many families, especially those moms with complex pregnancies, experience fragmented care, where they end up being separated from their newborn baby.
Moms may deliver in one hospital while the baby needing advanced care is transferred somewhere else, or vice versa. So this separation is extremely hard on the families and really not the ideal situation clinically. And we truly believe that those first few hours and days of bonding between mom and the newborn are extremely important. So if we can keep the mom and the baby together, that is our goal with this new unit.
This unit will take up 4 of the 14 floors in the new Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, which is expected to open in late October 2027. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
CBS News special report. San Diego police say the threat at the Islamic Center of San Diego has been neutralized after officers responded to a reported active shooter situation just before noon local time. San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall.
Within 4 minutes, officers arrived on scene and observed immediately 3 what appeared to be deceased victims out in front.
One of them a security guard, according to police. Chief Wall also says 2 suspected shooters were found dead inside a vehicle. Sources tell CBS News that it appears they took their own lives. Chief Wall says as for motive,
we are considering this a hate crime until it's not.
This parent says the situation at the facility that is home to a mosque and school was frightening.
All of a sudden, my son jumped, said, there is a shooting, let's go. And I don't know if they heard any shooting, what happened. I don't know all those details.
CBS News special report. I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
Demolition began today in North County to build the facility for pet owners and those who would like to be. An excavator began tearing apart an old automotive shop on Benham Road despite the rain. The site eventually home to a new campus of the Animal Protective Association.
So the buildings will be completed in 2 phases. There are going to be 2 different buildings. The first one is 22,000 feet, and that will include our adoption center. There will also be a state-of-the-art veterinary center. There will also be pet owner support services.
President and CEO of the APA, Sarah Javier, says construction of the first building is expected to be finished by spring of 2027. Tell you again, there is a flash flood warning that is in effect for St. Charles County, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City. This is until 8:15. The rain is still falling. If you are familiar with areas that typically flood, that is likely going to happen this evening, and other areas could become dangerous as well, and it could happen quickly. A flash flood warning for St. Charles, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City until 8:15. Non-severe storms continue overnight, 67 degrees for tomorrow. We've got more scattered showers and storms, and those could be strong to severe tomorrow with a high of 85 degrees. Right now, we've got rain and 76 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
The NBA playoffs are ongoing, and they've been a lot of fun so far, and FanDuel is giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, every moment, from spreads to player points to threes and more. Build it all into same-game parlays and go for bigger payouts. So if you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, you're going to want to do it on FanDuel, an app that is super easy to use. It is secure. It's intuitive. I've been using it for a long time and really enjoy it. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. Head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I was diagnosed with postmenopausal osteoporosis and thought, am I going to step off a curb and break my ankle? My doctor said I needed to start treatment right away. He prescribed Divinity and my bone density improved. Now I like knowing I have stronger bones.
For women with postmenopausal osteoporosis at high risk for fracture, there's more you can do to strengthen your bones. Evenity is proven to significantly reduce spine fracture risk in 12 months. Elaine is a real Evenity patient. Individual results may vary. Evenity can increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a heart problem. Tell your doctor if you have had a heart attack or stroke. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it, as serious events have occurred with Evenity. Signs include rash, hives, swelling of the face or throat, which may cause difficulty in swallowing or breathing, muscle spasms or cramps, numbness or tingling. Tell your doctor about severe jawbone problems as they have been reported with Evenity. Report hip, groin, or thigh pain. Unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred with Evenity. Ask your doctor about building new bone with Evenity.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
In the Palm Beaches, we are truly in a league of our own, with an unbeatable collection of year-round sports on display. Take a swing at tennis or pickleball, or get a front row seat to polo, baseball, and everything in between. Then, find out why we're called Florida's golf capital, with more than 145 beautifully manicured sun-soaked courses, perfect for pros and beginners. When it comes to sports destinations, there's no competition. Curate your vacation at thepalmbeaches.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX. Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, westbound 70 still has slow traffic. Riverview out to about Lucas Hunt. It's bogged down from Lindbergh all the way to 5th Street, and then it jams from Lake St. Louis out through Highway Z, just west of Z at the railroad overpass. The left lane is flooded, so only the right lane is open on westbound 70. Northbound 170, Scudder up to 270s heavy. South 170 bogs down Ladue to 64. Westbound 64, west of the Science Center, slow to Hanley. It's backed up through the Interbelt briefly. Heavy pockets, though, out through Clayton-Warson. It's slow again, approaching Clarkson through Topgolf, and then stop and go from 364 out to 70. Pretty solid again because of that westbound 70 trouble. Eastbound 64, you're on the brakes right through the Interbelt as well. Eastbound 44, you got a crash in the right lane right near River to Pear, so traffic's backed up east of Elm on eastbound 44. Westbound's not bad there, but it's slow west of Miraz to west of 141, a little slow approaching 109. Southbound 55 has cleared out on the Illinois side. Eastbound 70 slow past Packers Avenue. 64, 255 heavy most of the way to 159. Next update at 5:50 from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Honey, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Oh, you are, but this one's certified, background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Trusted pros who do it right.
It's 5:41 in Mid-America. This time check brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, back in on Redbird Rush Hour. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here on a Monday. Cards off tonight. They're back at it tomorrow when the Pirates come to town. No Skeens this time. That's a bummer because they beat Skeens. They've had his number for whatever reason.
He didn't look good yesterday. He tied his career high for runs given up.
He did. That was an interesting matchup. And the Phillies are playing great, though, and the Phillies got him. So they've been red hot since the manager change.
How about the fact that Michael McGreevy and Dustin May have more quality starts than Paul Skeens this year?
That's crazy. When you look at Skeens having like a 1.97. Yeah, that's crazy.
They each have 6. He's got 5.
That's wild.
I know.
I mean,
it's one of those years, man. Right?
I know. I'm not even processing that right. I feel like that just doesn't feel like it's real life, but it clearly is.
Yeah, it's nuts. It really is. But according to the expected stats, McGreevy and all these pitchers, they're all gonna like basically keel over and like they'll no longer exist. Everything's gonna blow up, right? This is one of my things, and I keep harping on it. Listen, man, I know all about the expected stats are predictive, and that's cool. I get it, but I can look at what's actually happening on the field and count that. Yeah. And if the expected stats blow everything up, I'll be happy to talk about that. But what's the point of doing the Chicken Little when everyone's pitching well and at this moment, like, what are you afraid of? Let them keep pitching.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking the sky's going to be falling.
Yeah. It's definitely okay to take in all the information, but the only thing we can go by as far as what we know is what has happened, because we can't know what's not happened yet. Until somebody invents a crystal ball that we can really see the future, where it's always everything with a grain of salt. And that includes current numbers too, right? I think everything with a little bit of a grain of salt.
You have to do it that way. Yeah.
I just noticed this before we got on the air. I was actually talking with our producer, Kyle Sixt, about it. There was an article that just posted on ESPN.com today, and it's David Schoenfield, and he's looking at the Tampa Bay Rays, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Chicago White Sox, 4 teams that have played better than anybody expected them to play this year. And the idea of it was, is the start real or is the start not real? he went real for 3 of the 4 teams, and the one team he went not real for was the Cardinals. And with all due respect, do we really think the White Sox are more real than the Cardinals right now? I don't. I would say the Rays are. I buy the Rays for sure, but there's so many people that are still expecting this thing to just really fall off a cliff.
Well, and I've known David a long time, and I respect him. I do, but then because I read that piece too, and he bases everything
on the
for saying they're not for real on their low strikeout rate.
Yeah.
And I get it, but on the other hand, what about the things they do well to offset the strikeout rate? I mean, a lot of soft contact, a lot of ground balls. They don't walk people. I'm talking about the starting pitchers primarily.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, their strikeout rate is slowly inching upward. There has been some improvement there. So, I get where David's coming from, but this obsession with strikeouts, it's kind of made me go the other way where I get tired of how come these guys never talk about teams that have a great strikeout rate, but they stink, or individual pitchers who have a great strikeout rate, but their ERA is 4.93. I don't see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It just seems like an awfully narrow thing to judge an entire team on. It's like, how many strikeouts do your pitchers have? That seems like, really? I don't know. What is this, highlight or something? I thought it was, I think it's, it's a team game the last time I looked. Anyway.
Yeah, and the one thing that can counteract swing and miss is precision command. And it's not that it doesn't exist. It's just not as prevalent in the game right now. So I wonder if there's just an element to it where we don't see a lot of it going that way, because the trend has been swing and miss, velocity, spin rate, which I believe in all of those things. I'm not crapping on any of them. They're all real. They all matter, but they're not the only things that matter. Just like your physical ability isn't the only thing that matters. Your psychology matters. Your head matters. And I just saw a really interesting story today, guys. It was Chandler Rome on The Athletic writing about the Astros, and he was writing about their young right fielder, Cam Smith, and how he's got amazing bat speed, and whatever he's doing in the cage, he's amazing. And they're talking to the hitting coach, Victor Rodriguez. He's like, yeah, except that when he gets to the plate, he's thinking too much, and it slows everything down, and he can't replicate in the game what he was doing in the cage. Now, who's that sound like a year ago? It sounds like Jordan Walker a year ago, right? Yeah. I mean, but what changed was a little bit physical, but also a lot mental, and the mental side is a big part of that.
No, totally agree. And I think Walker really proves that. Well, I think Walker offers so much hope for any young player who comes along now and who sees his desperate struggles the previous 2 seasons and the type of hitter that has transformed himself and built himself into something that's kind of a fearsome hitter now. And, as great as that guy was in the first month of the season, it blows me away. And I know the Cardinals have only played 15 games so far, but it blows me away that his May is like much better than what he did in March and April.
Yeah,
and I would have not said, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. That'll happen. No, I wouldn't have bet a lot of money on it. I'll put it to you this way. He's actually getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. No question about it. And that's why, by the way, given all of our offseason conversations, you don't give up on 23-year-olds with those kinds of tools. You keep grinding, and maybe someday you find out it ain't going to happen, but you keep grinding until you know for sure. And right now, he's looking pretty great. All right, we got one more segment to go. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here on Redbird Rush Hour. We'll wrap it up and get you ready for Sports Open Line next.
Hey, it's Matt and Leslie Holiday. When we got to St. Louis, it wasn't long before we started searching for a way to give back.
We visited Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and we knew this is where we belonged.
Homers for Health has been going strong for 15 years and has made such an unbelievable impact on the hospital. I've won a World Series, but I consider the work we have done at Cardinal Glennon to be the greatest achievement.
Yes, your support truly makes a difference. Make your pledge for patients today at homersforhealth.org to benefit the devoted fund.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, Spruce, Spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce. Pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting, the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for a career change? Well, the Gelman team with eXp Realty is hiring. Their unmatched blueprint to success, real support, and proven systems help agents take their business to the next level. Level up your future and earning potential. Take the first step at thegelmanteam.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, if you're driving home on westbound Highway 70, it's a little slow at the city limits. There's still heavy traffic from, let's call it Cypress, out through the Blanchette Bridge. And after that, it's slow at Lake St. Louis, jammed, approaching 61 through Highway Z. If you're on westbound 64, it's just kind of busy. The Science Center headed out through McCausland. There's a little slowdown passing Mason, and then it's backed up Lake St. Louis Boulevard out to 70. If you're on South 270 or North 270, Dorset to 70 is kind of slow due to weather. Eastbound 270, both sides of 367 is heavy. In addition to both directions around 370, again, downpour is part of the problem. Eastbound 44, you still have a jam approaching Laclede Station through Shrewsbury toward River to Pear. They had a crash in the right lane there. Westbound 44, still kind of slow west of 141, maybe for a mile or so. South 270 is thinned out down south. South of 64 looks good. 55 looks great. On the Illinois side, you've still got heavy traffic. Eastbound 70 east of the Mutual Veterans Bridge to 64, but 64 itself is just a little slow at 157 now. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Road trip through America's musical past as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra teams up with the sensational doo-wop project for a night of vintage soul and seamless harmonies. Experience the iconic sounds that shaped American music through the evolution of doo-wop, including favorites like Sherry and Walk Like a Man, along with doo-wopified renditions of modern hits and more. Buckle up for a feel-good celebration that brings generations together, featuring the doo-wop project and your St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Saturday, May 30th at Powell Hall. Tickets on sale now at slso.org.
Whoopah! The most mouth-watering event of the year is back. Join us this Memorial Day weekend for the St. Louis County Greek Fest at Assumption Greek Orthodox Church. Enjoy authentic Greek food, lively music, dancing, and church tours. Credit cards only. Visit stlgreekfest.com for full details.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is who do you hire. At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, it's Monday on Redbird Rush Hour. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here for just another couple of minutes. And then Matt's got Sports Open Line for you tonight. Cards and the Pirates will kick it off tomorrow. Did we miss anything yet? Anything that was relevant from the weekend or heading into the new week? I feel like we covered quite a bit. I mean, we do have Mason Wynn's cranky knee maybe to kick around here for a couple minutes. Because, you know, obviously they're not particularly deep at shortstop. And the three of us were texting about it. We're like, boy, if he's going to miss any time, there are not a lot of great options there.
I'm more worried that this just turns into something. I don't want him to have a creaky knee all season long.
Yeah.
And then we get into what happened last year. So everybody downplayed it after the game. Hopefully that's true. We've seen stuff downplayed before that actually was more than it was. He's got a history with the knee, so be careful. And he is so necessary for this team. If it means sitting him down for a few extra days to get it right, I'm fine with Cesar Prieto, J.J. Weatherholt, Thomas Sajaci, whoever at shortstop for a few days.
Wheels, one thing I want to do is we had a good question about is there any help, any moves maybe from AAA?
Right.
I will say this because I've been pretty outspoken about Jimmy Crooks and the fact that I don't want to see him come up here if he's striking out 36, 37% of the time.
Right.
But I give him credit. He's doing what the Cardinals specifically told him, look, you have to cut down on your strikeouts. So this month, he's only striking out 23.4% of the time so far.
That's good.
And he's got a 468 on base percentage, 771 slug. Now, I'm a man of my word. So I said, listen, when he stops striking out, I'll absolutely get on the bandwagon. So I'm getting close to the bandwagon. I'm on the bandwagon now, but the point is, I still don't know how they would configure the roster because we all know about their loyalty to Pedro Pages.
Right.
So I don't know.
And Joel Pozo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also Herrera. I mean, maybe the window there is Herrera catches less, but they don't want to do that. So that would be a pretty significant change if they were going to go that route.
What about this? Let me throw this out real quick, and I may write about this tomorrow. Crooks is a left-handed bat. Cardinals have terrible DH numbers. Terrible. Why can't Jimmy Crooks DH against right-handed pitchers? He kills them. His numbers against right-handed pitchers are ridiculous. And there's a chance for you to boost your DH spot.
There's our question for the night. We'll look forward to you writing it up, and maybe we'll talk about it on Friday. Maybe, who knows what happens between now and then, and some opportunity presents itself. All right, boys, have a great night. It's been a good Monday. We'll look forward to doing this again on Friday with the three of us. Matt, have fun tonight with Sports Open Line. That's coming up next on KMOX.
Hello, 4th of July.
Back-to-back Jack. Kerry Robinson, a hero tonight.
The Cubs visit St. Louis May 29th through the 31st for a weekend of baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium. The history is real, the fans are loud, and the energy in the ballpark is unmatched. Day or night, every pitch matters when these two meet. Get ready, Cardinals fans. This is what summer baseball in St. Louis is all about. Don't miss a moment of it. Get your tickets at cardinals.com.
The weekend starts at Busch Stadium. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou. With $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at cardinals.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost. We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer. 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Looking for a great real estate agent? Someone who can help you sell your home fast and for top dollar? Go to ready.com. REDY.com. Because on Ready, agents will pay you just for the opportunity to sell your home. Yeah, on Ready, agents will pay you for your listing. Thousands of dollars up front just for a chance to sell your home. And it's easy. Just go to ready.com, enter your address, and when you want to sell. In just 48 hours, the best local agents are competing on Ready to be your agent with cash offers up front just to win your business. Hey, your listing is valuable. Don't give it away. Make those agents earn it. Get paid to pick your real estate agent. Go to ready.com or call 888-525-REDY. 888-525-READY.
Since we opened our doors in 1868, Busey has fostered deep customer relationships and vibrant communities, embodying a legacy of partnership and progress. With multiple lines of business, we provide a range of financial solutions tailored to your needs. From digital banking to planning for retirement, Busey is here to help you achieve your financial goals. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Cards and Cubs. The rivalry returns to Busch May 29th. KMOX kicks off the weekend early when Tom Ackerman hosts a Redbird Roundtable featuring Aussie Smith, Al Raboski, and Matt Adams, Thursday, May 28th at the Beer Garden at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. We're talking ball, enjoying a cold beer, and celebrating one of baseball's best rivalries. The doors open at 4:30. The Redbird Roundtable, Thursday, May 28th. Full event details are at KMOX.com. Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, westbound 370 still slow approaching 141 to the Discovery Bridge. Westbound 70 from the Rock Road out to the Blanchett Bridge a little slow. It's jammed from A to 61. Looks like they cleared that storm drain issue at Z. There's a little backup west of Forestell after that. South 170 delays at Brentwood. North 170 headed up through Olive is slow. From the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. 3 men are killed in a shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego, and police say both suspects are dead. More from CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
Immediately, officials declaring this a hate crime. They're treating it as such. They're working with the FBI as this investigation continues. In terms of what happened, according to them, with this timeline, just before noon today, they say these 2 gunmen stormed a mosque at the center, opening fire multiple times before then fleeing in a vehicle where they continued to carry out opening fire.
The center is home to a mosque and a school. San Diego Police Chief Scott Walls says among those killed was a mosque security guard. They believe he played a pivotal role in keeping the attack from being much worse. In Simi Valley, California, mandatory evacuations are issued as a brush fire grows to more than 830 acres with no containment. CBS News Los Angeles' Luz Delia Caballero is there.
Smoke, it's getting thicker and thicker. As we were moving up the hill, when we were coming from the freeway vantage point, I mean, the plume looked huge, but it looked white. Moving closer, we see a significant amount of hot spots, more engines coming forward, and of course we see the endless drops of water.
Democrats and government watchdogs quickly vowed to challenge a plan by the Trump administration to set up a $1.7 billion fund to those who claim they were treated unfairly by the Justice Department during the Biden era. According to Loyola law professor Lori Levinson,
it's never been done before that you have a president like this who sues his own IRS and then decides to dismiss it and instead put together what some people are calling a slush fund to pay to his supporters, including the January 6th insurrectionists.
An ICE officer has been charged in a non-fatal shooting during the immigration enforcement surge in Minnesota. CBS's Cammie McCormick reports.
The ICE officer, Christian Castro, is charged with 4 counts of second-degree assault and 1 count of falsely reporting a crime in the January shooting of a Venezuelan man who was legally in the U.S. He had been accused of beating an officer, but a judge dismissed the charges and opened an investigation into whether 2 immigration officers lied under oath about what happened. A warrant has now been issued for Castro's arrest.
Congo will open 3 treatment centers for the Ebola virus in 1 province, and the World Health Organization is sending a team of experts to the country following an outbreak that has killed more than 110 people. Congolese officials say an American doctor in Congo is among the newly confirmed cases of a rare type of Ebola virus. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world. I'm Tony. There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers. How are you? I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
At 6:04, we've still got storms moving through right now. 73 degrees downtown at the Arch. We'll check in with Roger Brand to get the latest on the roads across the region in just a little bit. There is a flood warning, a flash flood warning that is in effect for St. Louis City and County and St. Charles County. It's until 8:15. Waters are rising. Let's check in with Dave Murray.
Michael, it's been a very soggy day across St. Louis. Weather patterns are almost stuck right over us, and the rains will start to fade away a little later on tonight. But we're not done yet because there's a cold front on the way. Some more rain and thunderstorms will be in play Tuesday and Tuesday night, some possibly strong to severe. I'll keep you up to date, and I'll have the full forecast coming up.
Missouri's election clerks have questions about the new congressional map as they try to update their voter rolls. Brianna Lennon, the Democratic clerk in Boone County, says she cannot update the rolls because the Republican Secretary of State, Denny Hoskins, has not provided the required updates. Miller County clerk and fellow Republican Clinton Jenkins agrees with Lennon, telling MissouriNet.
She's an attorney. She is way smarter than I am. So it's going to be up to her. Each individual county clerk, I mean, whatever decision they make, it's on them. But if she feels like there's an issue, there's an issue.
Jenkins says the new boundaries split Boone County among two congressional districts, actually cutting houses in half. Secretary of State Denny Hoskins maintains that all Missouri counties have everything that they need to update their voter rolls. The St. Charles County Jail has completed phase one of a major overhaul.
The completed upgrades includes a new wing specifically for detainees struggling with behavioral health problems, while the new substance abuse wing is on schedule to open at the end of next month. Interim Director of Corrections Robin Edwards says 80% of the jail's population struggles with one or both of those issues, and these new segregated facilities will allow their staff to better treat their needs.
You need support? Okay, you need support. Well, I don't need support. I need a job. I need housing. So reentry coordinator, peer support specialist, those people we have here who can help get you connected to those resources.
Within the new behavioral health wings are different styles of housing, single bedrooms, 2 bunk rooms, all with their own smaller community spaces to allow them rec time while keeping them away from other individuals at different degrees of risk. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
A year after the devastating May tornado, the United Way of Greater St. Louis has a new initiative, United for Storm Recovery. It earmarks about $1 million for emerging and ongoing needs of those affected. United Way's Regina Greer says there are still plenty of ways to help.
Continued volunteerism is always needed, and so go to sclvolunteer.org to sign up. We always will continue to need donations from individuals so that individuals can still keep recovering. This is a long-term prospect for the stability of these families as well.
Unmet needs could be beds, appliances, or household goods. Greer says it's hard to put a number on just how many people are still displaced. With the weather, we've got breaking traffic, so let's get you to Roger Brand at the Traffic Center, find out what's going on.
Well, they just reported an injury crash a few minutes ago, Michael, on eastbound 270 before Bellefontaine. I'm seeing a little backup coming up the hill from Old Halls Ferry, so be careful there. Westbound Highway 70, there's still some heavy traffic. The Rock Road to 270 across the Blanchette Bridge, still sort of bogged down, approaching 61 out toward Highway Z. We had a clogged storm drain. That left lane was shut down for a while. They've cleared it. We have a new incident. Westbound 70 west of Forestell, about midway to Wright City. There's a jam at Forestell now because of it. Eastbound 70, David Hochland to Wentzville Parkway is pretty heavy. If you're on 64, headed home westbound, it looks good till you get out to Lake St. Louis Boulevard. It's slow to 70. Eastbound 64, the inner belt's heavy. North 170, approaching Delmar, headed up toward Olive is busy. South 270, kind of slow at 364, but after that, it's good down to 55. Southbound 55, seeing heavy traffic. Merrimack Bottom headed down toward 141. If you're downtown, eastbound 44 is sort of slow at the Poplar. There's a crash at the ramp to the bridge. But once you get across the bridge, Illinois interstates look good. They do have that stalled auto westbound 70 at the Musial Veterans Bridge. Right lane's blocked. There's just a short delay there. I'm Roger Brand at the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Still a little bit soggy as we go through the evening, but showers and thunderstorms will be fading as we go through the next couple of hours, but still capable of some heavy downpours. It's kind of windy, 67 for the low. Tuesday, it's another unsettled day with periods of rain and thunderstorms. Some of them could be strong, possibly severe. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. There's a cold front moving in. 85 for the high. That front really doesn't get through until Tuesday night. Tuesday night, periods of rain and thunderstorms, especially during the evening, and cooler with a northwest wind. 58 degrees Wednesday, partly sunny and cooler, 69 for the high. Some clouds around and chilly Wednesday night, 52, and Thursday, partly sunny and nice, 73 degrees. It looks like some more showers and thunderstorms trying to kick in here Friday and Friday night. From the Celiga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Non-severe thunderstorms, but the rain amounts are the big danger right now. Again, a flash flood warning is in effect for St. Charles County, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City until 8:15. Watch out, especially if you know of a creek or other body of water that rises quickly. The storms are moving through 73 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Come on, let's get going now.
From KMOX Sports.
We're primed and ready. All day, baby. Man, let's go.
This is the Greybar Sports Open Live. Greybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Here we go on a Monday. Welcome in. It is a Greybar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX. It is great to have you with us. A full 2-hour program tonight. We've got a lot going on the show this evening. Brad Thompson, former Cardinals pitcher, current Cardinals TV analyst. He's going to join us probably in about 10 minutes or so. We're going to talk some Battlehawks football. We've got one of their players coming up just after 7 o'clock as well. They had a tough weekend. We're going to be mostly Cardinals baseball, though, for sure today after a really entertaining weekend, not just in terms of them having a good weekend, taking 2 out of 3 from Kansas City, but also in terms of everything that was going on at the ballpark and the added attention on the Cardinals from really a national standpoint because of the tarps-off phenomenon. And I've been thinking about this, like, I don't want to overdo this because cool things get overdone very quickly. But at the same time, it was really cool. A lot of people are still talking about it. The Stephen F. Austin Club baseball team that was in town for a baseball tournament that's taking place in Alton. They said they're going to be at one more game before they have to return to Texas. They're going to be there tomorrow night to lead the way. So hopefully it's another rowdy environment. And then hopefully folks who are not from Texas, folks who are from St. Louis can carry that torch and move it forward because it is a different environment for sure when things are loud and things are boisterous. And that doesn't mean that Cardinals fans aren't Cardinal fans at that point. That doesn't mean you don't have to go and applaud for your opponent when they make a good play and do the things that Cardinal fans are certainly known for. But creating a tough environment, not even creating a tough environment, but creating an environment where your players can thrive that much more. And I think it is very obvious and very clear that there was an impact made by the tarps-off folks on Friday and on Saturday. Maybe a little bit less yesterday, but the Cardinals just could not come along for the ride on what was a tough day offensively for sure yesterday. But it's fun. It is fun, and it has been good to see for sure. So we'll talk a little bit about that on the program. I think from a baseball standpoint, some other good things are happening as well here when you consider some of the pitching that they've gotten here over the last couple days. 2 guys in the rotation that you didn't totally know what you were going to get out of, them in an Andre Palante and a Kyle Leahy. Those guys really pitching well their last time outs. I mean, yesterday for Andre Palante become the first Cardinal starting pitcher to record an out in the 7th inning this year, who had Palante on their list as being the first guy to do that. So that's been good to see. You know, what Matt Swanson did yesterday, he throws a scoreless inning, and all of a sudden he is starting to put together some better outings. You look, his month of May, if you have not noticed, Matt Swanson in the month of May, he has pitched in 6 games. He's got a 3 ERA, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, so he's averaging about a strikeout per inning right now. Batting average against at .250. I mean, this is after he carried a +10 ERA into the month of May. So it's been good to see Swanson do a little bit more. I'm not trying to just cover up the not as good things. Offense has been a little bit quiet here recently. I think you can go back a bit. You know, that Padres series, it was quiet. Woke up a little bit against the A's. At the same time, you were playing in a ballpark there in Sacramento that certainly promoted offense. And then it was somewhat quiet against the Royals as well, even though they were able to take 2 out of 3, and it was certainly quiet yesterday. But it's been fun. It has been fun. It's interesting because people who do not like the Cardinals, if you're in Chicago and you're talking to a Cubs fan, if you're in Milwaukee and you're talking to a Brewers fan, people, and I don't think this is as true now as it was maybe 10 plus years ago, but people in Kansas City certainly did not like the Cardinals. As somebody who went to college in the state of Kansas with a lot of people from Kansas City, I could tell you that when I was going through college at Kansas State, then all my Kansas City friends, they really, really did not like the Cardinals. Now, I think since then, with the success that the Royals have had and some of what has happened in the AL Central, maybe the Cardinals have been knocked down that list a little bit. But the thing that you get out of people who do not like the Cardinals, one of the main criticisms they will have, they'll say, man, this is a stodgy organization. Earlier when we were talking about this on Redbird Rush Hour, Bernie made the point that Busch Stadium doesn't have to be a museum. It can be more than that. And I agree with what Bernie said. And it was almost uncomfortable watching people on social media who I know are not big fans of the Cardinals talking about it. Was interesting. It was almost uncomfortable for them to see the Cardinals having fun and doing things that they would like their teams to do, because that's not something we generally see in St. Louis, and hopefully some version of that keeps going. And I commented about this on social media, and I got so many like college football bros that came at me and was like, oh, tell me you don't watch college football without telling. I know this was a thing that started in college football. I'm well aware of that. But for baseball and for the city of St. Louis, it was pretty unique. It was really, really unique, and it was fun to see for sure. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every moment of it, and I hope it keeps going. Again, the kids from Stephen F. Austin, they are going to be at the ballpark tomorrow again. That's going to be their final game attending before they have to return to Texas. So they're going to be out there. They're going to be doing tarps off, and hopefully the tarp literally stays off, because I know there is some rain that could be impacting us in the game over the next few days. But I hope this is the start of something, and I know the Cardinals are going to do their best to take advantage of it, whether or not they rename that area the tarps-off terrace or something like that. And that's another Bernie thing. I love it. I love the idea of calling it that and just going all in on this. And there's been other kind of viral things that have happened with this team that the folks with the organization and in marketing and everything, and the game day folks have been able to go all in on. A lot of people have brought up the Rally Squirrel. This is a little bit different than the Rally Squirrel because it's more of a people getting involved. I still just love the idea of like 20 kids from a club baseball team in Texas deciding they were going to go have fun in an empty section by going crazy and taking their shirts off. And the next thing you know, there's 4 sections filled with people doing the exact same thing. Like, it's a great story. And then the fact that the Cardinals went all in and Oliver Marmol bought the tickets and people started to see a little bit more of his personality and how much he appreciated it. And then they brought those kids in, and I hope you've seen some of the videos of those guys being in the clubhouse with the Cardinals and Cardinals players taking their shirts off and them all taking a pic. Like, it's fun. And sports are supposed to be fun. Now, it's more fun when your team is winning. And the Cardinals are doing a whole lot of winning right now. If they were a last place team in the division and this was going on, it certainly would not feel the same. I get that. I'm not running away from that. But the Cardinals are winning, and it's been pretty good. It's been a lot of fun, and I've certainly enjoyed this so far, and I hope some version of it does continue on. As mentioned, we've got a lot coming up on the program today. Brad Thompson's going to join us in just a few minutes. We might have an opportunity as well to open up the lines later on this hour when we get back with Brad. Would love to hear what folks think about this, how much you're enjoying it. Maybe you were involved in it. We'll probably open up the phones and ask for people who were maybe out in that section to call in and just share their experience with it. I was talking with our producer, Kyle Sixta, a few moments ago, and he was working in the radio booth over the weekend. But Kyle said to me, hey, you know what? Well, Kyle, I'll let you say to the listeners what you said to me earlier.
Oh, I just said I was working at the stadium, but if I wasn't working, I would have loved to have joined the tarps-off terrace, if we're calling it that. That looked like a blast. If we get the chance to do it again and I'm not working, I'm in there.
Yeah, and that's why it has to continue beyond just tomorrow, so everybody can experience the tarps-off terrace. I saw some photos on social media yesterday because, for obvious reasons, the tarps-off terrace is going to be a male-driven type thing. And I saw some women who had gotten some T-shirts printed out of male torsos, and they wore those. So maybe that's if there's I don't know what like the rules and regulations are on selling things outside of Busch Stadium, and I don't want to. I'm not sure if the Cardinals can do a turnaround quick enough, or if they would be comfortable putting T-shirts with male torsos into the Cardinals team store. So this might be an opportunity for some T-shirt makers out there. Again, I'm not trying to break any laws, any rules, any regulations. But if some folks out there want to print off some T-shirts for the ladies that have the male upper body on them, that might be a way to make a few bucks. And you know what? If you do that, and you say, man, that was a good idea by Matt, you could throw something my way. I won't be mad. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'll be curious to see if that's something that picks up a little bit of steam as well. So it was fun, and we'll talk about this a little bit more as we go along with the program. Up next, Brad Thompson. He was tarps on yesterday, but Brad Thompson, nonetheless, is going to join us. Former Cardinals pitcher, current Cardinals TV analyst. He's with us in just a moment. You are locked in. This is a Greybar Sports Open Line. We're back with Brad Thompson in just a moment here on KMOX.
The final home game of the season is here, St. Louis. Your St. Louis Battlehawks hit the field Friday, May 29th at 7 p.m. against the Dallas Renegades at the Dome at America Center. It's Battlehawk Kids Day, packed with family fun, Battlehawks energy, and an Archie bobblehead giveaway while supplies last. Join Battlehawks Nation. Bring the whole crew and help close out the season the only way St. Louis knows how. Loud and proud. Caw-caw. Because caw is the law. Get tickets starting at just $18 at UFLBattlehawks.com or Ticketmaster.
Spring cleaning rule number 1, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenager's gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about the Burn Balance Complex, which is available at supplement superstores. And it's Burn Balance Edge for the guys. It's Burn Balance Zen for the women. And what this is very simply a complete metabolism system. It's not just a simple fat burner. It's way more than that. It works with your body to get the metabolism working the way that it's supposed to. So what you notice right away, what I've noticed here in the first couple of months is your shirt will lay a little bit flatter, your pants fit a little bit looser. It's not like that as immediate, but it comes pretty fast. This is a great natural weight loss option for people that don't want prescriptions or injections. If those aren't for you, go to Supplement Superstores and check out the Burn Balance Complex. On top of getting the metabolism working, you're going to get reduced stress with lower cortisol levels. You're going to have appetite control and craving control, all-day focused energy without the jitters that come with energy drinks. And look, it's not magic. You got to do things the right way, but the Burn Balance Complex makes it so much easier. So get out to Supplement Superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will knock 30% off the Burn Balance Complex for you right there, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Experience the fierce passion and forbidden love of Romeo and Juliet at Opera Theater of St. Louis. This summer, let the world's most famous love stories sweep you off your feet with epic romance, drama, and heartbreak. See Shakespeare's masterpiece brought to life on stage with a lush score that will stir your soul. Performances run from June 13th through 27th. Tickets start at just $25. Secure your seats today at experienceopera.org for a magical summer night.
Working hard but still falling behind? Learn how real estate investing can help you build income and move forward with purpose. Text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Anheuser-Busch Brewery Experiences invites you to step up to the plate for an unforgettable happy hour at the Beer Garden on Thursday, May 28th. Join me, Tom Ackerman, and a panel of legendary Cardinals, including Ozzie Smith, Al Raboski, and Matt Adams for the Redbird Roundtable. Kick off baseball's big weekend with ice-cold beer and unforgettable fan experiences. Behind-the-scenes stories, legendary moments during a live panel discussion. See you at the Beer Garden May 28th, BudweiserTours.com.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
It's a Greybar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX. It is a Cardinals off day, and off days are few and far between. And when you work around Major League Baseball, they are very valuable. Despite that, former Cardinals pitcher, now TV analyst, Brad Thompson, is being gracious with his time today. He's joining us on the program. Brad, appreciate it. How's your off day treating you so far?
Oh, Matt, so far so good. You know how off days are when you have kids. It's what they're doing. So instead of Major League Baseball tonight, it's youth baseball. Kids got some hitting stuff tonight. So look, these any time of baseball or any kind of baseball is always fun. You know that.
When you were playing, what did an off day look like for you? Was it a day just to actually catch rest, or was it more about trying to catch up on things that you can't do just in most of the time?
No, for me, it was because when I was playing, I didn't have any kids yet. So it was like a super selfish day. I could do whatever the heck I wanted to. And those are nice, right? In large part, this is a young team that most of the guys don't have kids. You obviously got a few that have families. But yeah, it's a day where you can actually catch up. And even if most of this roster is really young, you got to take advantage of those days where you don't have to get out there and put it all out on the lines. Yeah, so for me, generally very relaxing. Yeah, you got some little things that you have to do, your to-do list that never gets done during the season, but the off days, as you mentioned, are few and far between, so the guys are maxing and relaxing, I'm sure.
Let's the phenomenon that is tarps-off, and it became a really big deal over the last few days. What's your take on that, just in the sense that everybody was able to have fun, but it also seemed like it actually did impact the baseball team and impacted their ability to go out and do some things.
Yeah, how fun was that, man? My biggest takeaway is that great energy is infectious, right? Like, those guys just came out there. They wanted to have a good time. They did, and others jumped in on it. And I absolutely love that. And you're right, man. It's not one. It's like, well, I wonder if the team was affected by that. Like, they talked about it to a man, to the point where the manager bought them tickets and bought a bunch more tickets over the weekend for people to be up there in that same area, bringing the energy, bringing the vibe. It's so much fun as a player to have that, to have a group like that. Now, it doesn't always have to be a tarps-off group, but a group like where you feel them have your back, you feel that energy, and you feel that at Busch Stadium a lot. But it was different with a group of young kids out there screaming the entire time. And then the opposition, you kind of feel playing against that too. So I thought that was so cool. And you're right, what a random phenomenon, right? They're out here playing in a tournament. They decide to come to a game, and it just catches a life of its own. But special, man. It was special over the weekend, and hopefully something. Although Ollie might try to keep that group in St. Louis for the foreseeable future, I don't know if that's going to work. Like, I hope that energy continues, because it truly was, like, this past weekend at Busch Stadium was some of the most life, some of the most energy we've seen in that place over the last couple of years.
I'm a big believer of when there's an opportunity, when a door opens, you got to walk through that door. And that door opened with those kids doing that and the way things went down on Friday. You know, Ollie buying the tickets on Saturday and Sunday. You and I and the rest of the folks that cover the team, we know Ollie pretty well, and I think we all think pretty highly of him. The fan base at times still seems a little bit split, but man, I was looking at social media, and there were so many of these, you know, tweets out about, maybe I was a little iffy on Ollie before, but I'm starting to come around on him. That was really an opportunity. It was cool for him to buy the tickets, but even cooler was a chance I think that was an opportunity for the fans to kind of get a sense of who this guy really is.
Yeah, look, I would say this, the record this year should speak for itself as well. I think the work that he's done over the last couple of years has been great. But you're right, one of the things, and we get a chance to see it because we get to have candid conversations with him, whether it's at home or it's on the road, what is lost oftentimes is the personality of the man, not the manager, but the man. And like, he truly, he loves what he does. He loves coaching the game of baseball. He loves great energy, connections with his players, connections with fans. Like, he truly just lives for those moments, right? So when you get that, and when you have a situation like that, it means the world that the manager would embrace something like that. And I got the chance to talk to him after that first night, and he was just so pumped up about the energy in the ballpark and wanting to be able to duplicate that throughout the season. So hopefully that did for fans, that maybe were on the fence with Ollie, give you a little glimpse into what is important to him. Like, he truly cares about his players. He cares about this team. He cares about the fans, and wanted to embrace even more of them. But yeah, what a gesture, right? Something that he definitely did not have to do, but wanted to, and it wasn't one where like somebody forced his hands, like, hey, Ollie, this would be a good PR move. He doesn't care about that. Like, he cares about his guys, and he knows that this is best for everybody if they can keep bringing that energy.
There are a lot of people in this organization right now, and I think Ollie's one of them. I for sure know that Heim Bloom is one of them. When you're in baseball and you're going through like the everyday minutia, you're not thinking outside of what you're doing every single day very often, and you're not thinking about others in a way that, especially people that are outside of your direct sphere. And I don't just the awareness from an Ollie, from a Heim, from so many others of everything that's going on. I've been impressed by that. I don't know how much you've seen of that, but it seems to be something that's very unique about a lot of people in this organization right now.
No, I think you're right, Matt. And one thing in talking with Heim over the last, year and a half or so, one thing that he's really big on, and I'm sure a lot of corporations are, but you have to be able to put it into action, is not working in silos, right? Not everybody just working in their own little area. Like, everybody affects everything. And one of his challenges to anybody in his organization is, hey, you are one of 30 people in baseball or whatever that has the job that you have. Be the best at it every freaking day. And you feel that energy every single day at the ballpark with everybody. But you're right, it's a collaborative effort. Everybody is working towards the same goal. The whole like rising tide lifts all ships. So true, right? But it's great to have all these mantras, and it's great to have a bulletin board with all these things on it. It's different when you're actually implementing it day in and day out. And that's what this organization has been able to do. And they've built it. This isn't like a brand new thing around here. This organization has been incredibly well run for decades, but it's kind of a passing of the torch here, obviously, to Heim Bloom. And it's a different way, maybe different small tweaks along the way that he and his crew do some things. But I think that the transparency from the outside has been very welcome. I think the fan base has loved that. And the energy in which they've been doing things has been very evident.
Couple more minutes with former Cardinals pitcher, now TV analyst Brad Thompson. We didn't know what to expect from a lot of the pitching this year, and there's still a lot to be figured out as the year goes along. But I look at the most recent starts from an Andre Palante, who becomes the first pitcher to get an out in the seventh inning this year, a Kyle Leahy, who we had no clue what it was going to look like for him, making that transition. And it seems like these guys are getting better. I know you have to be appreciating what we're seeing from a lot of pitchers, but those guys specifically, where maybe they were the biggest question marks in the rotation going in.
Yeah, just the rotation in general right now, Matt, has been super encouraging. You look over the last 2 weeks plus, they got a sub-3 ERA for that group. And you're right, a couple of guys have stepped up. Leahy is such an interesting character, right? So he's sitting right now, he's got 9 starts under his belt, ERA of sub-4, did cross off that 6-inning barrier, and he'll look to go further than that throughout. But we all know the trajectory of him, right? Dominant arm out of the bullpen. He was great, had a 6-pitch mix. They wanted to see what it would look like in the rotation. You have to give time with stuff like that. You have to let somebody play it out. And that's exactly what they've done with Kyle Leahy. And he continues to get better and better throughout. And Andre Palante is continuing to evolve as a starting pitcher. He's no longer the one-trick pony where it's like magically for some reason lefties just get out against them and then whatever else happens. No, now he's got an answer. He's got an answer for the right-handers. He keeps the left-handers honest with different stuff. He's been working more and more on that changeup, that splitter to the lefties. His sinker into the righties has been crazy effective. He can be a ground ball machine, but he gets his strikeouts when he needs to. I was really impressed in the ball game yesterday, too, of how much he got ahead, but not just working ahead, how he got there. He was able to land his breaking pitches for strikes a lot. He was 7 for 7 in first pitch strikes, specifically just with his slider, which we've seen in the past. When he's not on, he's not able to land any of his breaking stuff. We saw at times last year, Matt, when Andre was pitching, if anything was spinning, the opposition wasn't going to swing. Like if they picked up swing at all early, they were going to let it go because they knew it would be a ball under the zone most likely. Well, now that's not the case. He's been able to open up his arsenal. So another year for him has been beneficial. Can't say enough about the job that Michael McGreevy has done in this rotation. ERA just north of 2 through his 9 starts. So a lot of good things. We've seen some more good things too after a slow start from Dustin May. Matthew Liberatore, get a chance to see him again. So look, there are a lot of things going on, and then all of a sudden your bullpen's starting to solidify a little bit more at the back end. The pitching staff is doing a really nice job.
A final question for you. You mentioned time, so I'll ask you this. There's a lot of guys who they are giving time to. Before the season got started, they made it clear that Jordan Walker was going to be with the big league club. Now, he didn't need the time. He's been really good. But Matt Swanson has struggled. He's looked a little bit better here recently. They're not going to send him down. Victor Scott II has struggled. They continue to play him. I know Thomas Ajayci went down for a moment, but he was brought back up with injury, and they're not afraid to put him into games. There's other guys who have struggled that they continue to use and they are giving time to, despite the fact that a lot of fans listening right now, that frustrates them, that they want to see quicker moves. How do you assess that, and what does that say about the organization that it seems like their default mode is to give guys more time at the big leagues?
Well, especially like we have to remember, especially this season, what this was deemed to be, right? This was going back to the transparency and honesty organizationally. This was going to be a year where the young guys get a chance to prove what they are or what they're not. And it's very difficult to do that within the first month of a season, oftentimes, or month plus. Now, not every one of these moves is made in a vacuum, right? Like there are different different levels of patience for different types of players, right? But I think one of the biggest things is if you have somebody that is forcing your hand at the minor league level, at some point they're going to break through. Like that will be there. But early on in the season, I think it's okay to give some guys, we'll borrow a term from last year, a little extra runway to find out exactly what you have. Because the last thing you want to do is to go into 2027 with even more questions. Like, man, not sure exactly what so-and-so is. Wish we'd have found out more last year. Like, the goal for this year is to find out what some of these pieces are and then move on from there. And as you get later in the season too, Matt, that's when you get a chance to see some more of the pieces that are at AAA or maybe pieces that you make trades for at the deadline, because certainly you believe this team is going to be one that might be doing some moving and shaking. So you will get a chance to see, and anybody that is waiting to see whoever that player is, good chance you'll get a chance to see them this year. But you're going to give everybody on this roster pretty much every opportunity to prove themselves, either, prove the organization right or wrong, right? Depending on the way that they're looking at them.
He is Brad Thompson, former Cardinals pitcher, current analyst on Cardinals TV. Brad, thank you so much for the time. We'll see you at the ballpark later this week.
All right. Sounds good, Matt. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, you too. That is Brad Thompson. We'll take a break. We've got more coming up in just a moment. It's a Greybar Sports Open Line on KMOX.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Road trip through America's musical past as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra teams up with the sensational doo-wop project for a night of vintage soul and seamless harmonies. Experience the iconic sounds that shaped American music through the evolution of doo-wop, including favorites like Sherry and Walk Like a Man, along with doo-wopified renditions of modern hits and more. Buckle up for a feel-good celebration that brings generations together, featuring the Doo-Wop Project and your St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Saturday, May 30th at Powell Hall. Tickets on sale now at slso.org.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost, We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer. 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Don't miss the final home game of the season. Your St. Louis Battlehawks take on the Dallas Renegades Friday, May 29th at 7 p.m. at the Dome. It's Battlehawks Kids Day. Plus, fans can score an Archie bobblehead while supplies last. Tickets start at just $18 at UFLBattlehawks.com. Caw-caw.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for this cooling season, or if you were told you might need a new one, or you just think this is the time of the year, this year is the time to just go ahead and replace it. Prices are down, 0% financing is available. It's still the best time to call me. Don't put it off. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600 in Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back to the Greybar Sports Open Line. Once again, Matt Pauley on KMOX.
Back at it as we do start to wrap up hour number one of the program, and hour number two, we'll still talk a lot of baseball, but we will talk a little Battlehawks football. They had a tough one over the weekend, but they're still in good shape. So we've got a Battlehawk coming on just after the 7 o'clock news. Also, what we like to do on Mondays, Heim Bloom always joins Tom Ackerman for Sports on a Sunday morning, and we like to take back some of what Heim says, play it back for you, and then I give my thoughts on it. So we'll have all of that coming up during the 7 o'clock hour, and then we've got our Gas House Gang replay tonight at 8 o'clock, and that features Chris Ranji and Brendan Schaefer hosting, and the guest today, Greg Amsinger from MLB Network. He does his weekly hit on Monday, and Mike Claiborne on as well. So we've got a lot of good stuff coming up. You won't want to go anywhere here on KMOX. So I got a text message, 314-436-7900, 314-436-31. Let's do that again. 314-436-7900. By the way, welcoming your phone calls, your text messages, your tweets, everything right now until the end of the hour. I'm especially interested in people, if you were involved in tarps-off, expectedly, unexpectedly, whether you were actually in the section or you were just at the ballpark and you enjoyed it or whatever, hey, this is your chance to kind of share the in-ballpark feeling or just how you're feeling about that, which was a lot of fun. So feel free to chime in. Again, 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. So I love this text message because I literally said in the last segment before the interview, I don't want to talk about this too much, however, and somebody called me out for it with the text message from the 218. Says, don't want to overdo it, but let me overdo it. Yep, that's exactly what I did. You got me spot on. I don't want to, but I am going. Sometimes you just can't help yourself, right? So I don't know if that person was texting in with a smile on their face or if they were actually trying to take a shot at me, but either way, I laugh at it when I read it. That was a perfect text message to describe exactly what I did in the last segment. And I mean, you can't go anywhere in this town without people talking about it, which is good. It is good. We want people talking Cardinal baseball. You know, for so long, how good the Cardinals were, and let me rephrase it this way: the Cardinals being good lifted up morale in the entire St. Like when they were coming off a big win, when they were on a playoff run, all those things, you just felt it in the city. And it's been a little while since we've experienced that because they have not been a playoff team in a handful of years. And it's just really, it's been since 22 with Pujols going after home run number 700 and then the team getting the playoffs, where it just felt like everybody top of mind was thinking Cardinals baseball. And it has started to switch a little bit here recently. I could just tell you, like, I'm out and about, and I'll run into people that I know, and when we exchange our pleasantries, it's not as much, hey, how's it going? How's this? How's that? It's, let's talk Cardinals baseball for a second. And that's been really, really enjoyable, that it is holding, it's where it's supposed to be in this city again. Now, the team has to keep playing good baseball, right? And I mentioned this story earlier when we were doing Redbird Rush Hour. There was a story on ESPN today that listed 4 teams that are playing above expectations: the Cardinals, the Pirates, the Rays, and the White Sox. And I say his name to give him credit for his writing, not to take a shot at him, even if I would respectfully disagree. David Schoenfeld was the one who wrote it. And he went real for the Pirates, he went real for the Rays, and he went real for the White Sox. He went not real for the Cardinals. And he gave good reasons why. Again, this is not me like trying to attack a writer. I understood where he was coming from, but at the same time, I do think that not as much credit is being given to this team as they deserve. It doesn't really matter. Keep winning baseball games, and you're going to be where you need to be. Have a really good next 2 weeks where your next 4 series are against the other divisional opponents, and 5 of your next 6 series are against divisional opponents as well. At some point, there's going to be some teams in this division that start to fall out a little bit, and that might already be happening with the Pirates and the Reds because they are each 1 game over 500, and they each have won just 4 of their last 10 games. So maybe they start to fall off a little bit, but maybe not as well. I mean, just they're still above 500. And, hey, if the Pirates come in and have a really good series against the Cardinals, all of a sudden those two teams can not quite switch spots because there's 3.5 games separating the two, but they can look a whole lot more similar. And I am not trying to be the beacon of gloom and doom here. I think folks who listen to me every day know that's not really my thing. But Mason Wynn coming out of the game yesterday, that concerns me. Now, it might be nothing. It might be absolutely nothing. And that's basically the message that was being given in the clubhouse after the game. We'll learn a little bit more tomorrow. But the fact that Wynn does have a little bit of a history with knee issues makes me a little bit worried. And what I just don't want it to turn into is a thing where it's nagging for a while. I mean, if this is going to be something where you got to shut him down for a couple weeks just to get that knee back to where you want it to be, so it's not something that's always bothering him and it just slowly gets worse, which I think is basically what happened last year, then you shut him down. And would the team be compromised as a result of that? Absolutely they would. I don't know for sure who you would have at shortstop. You can probably the easiest argument to make is move J.J. Weatherholt over there. But at the same time, I can see the team saying, you just want Weatherholt at second and just want him to be there. That's his position. That's going to be his long-term position. You don't want to start messing around with him defensively, especially at a time where the hitting has taken a little bit of a step back here recently. So I can understand that. It could be more opportunities for Thomas Saggese, who admittedly did get a hit over the weekend, and it was good to see that happen, but has not hit. Cesar Prieto's another guy who could be there. He's the guy who went there yesterday when Wynn came out. None of those are great alternatives. I don't, even if Ramon Arias was healthy and there's no indication on when he's going to be healthy, I think he goes under the category of a guy that you're okay putting at shortstop for a game or two, but you don't want him there for a long time. But that's, I was critical of the Cardinals last year on how they handled Mason Wynn, how they handled Brendan Donovan, how they handled Nolan Arenado and their injuries, where they allowed those injuries to get worse and worse as the year went along, or because they were favoring other things, those small injuries turned into bigger injuries. And if there was one thing that I was hoping that under the new regime maybe was a little bit different, was just that, where if a guy's a little bit banged up to a point where it's going to compromise them, banged up to a point where they are going to have to favor something and it could impact something else, that they just get shut down. Maybe we get to the ballpark tomorrow and Mason Wynn is basically 100% and it was completely and totally precautionary. But if it's not, then that's where I think tough decisions start getting made on what you want to do to make sure to help this guy get through 162 games as healthy as possible. That is it for hour number one of the program. We've got a lot more coming up in hour number two. Stick with us. We'll be back after the 7 o'clock news right here on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
Tesla is building sales momentum in China, where the China Passenger Car Association reported that Tesla notched its sixth straight month of year-over-year sales gains on an increase of 36% in April. A pair of factors aiding that gain were the low sales from a year ago, as well as a higher mix of Tesla's China-made EVs being exported to Europe. Tesla makes the Models 3 and Y in China. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Feel the rhythm and turn it up, St. Louis. Legendary rock icons Santana and the Doobie Brothers are bringing the heat to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater June 20th for the Oneness Tour 2026. From Black Magic Woman to Listen to the Music, this is the concert event fans don't want to miss. It'll be a summer night soon not forgotten. Santana, the Doobie Brothers. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, go to KMOX.com/events.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was just at Staples. They're having a huge 40th anniversary sale.
40 years. Note to self, send flowers.
Up to 50% off. Save on chairs, paper, balloons, and more.
Balloons?
Yeah, Party City is now at Staples.
Surprise!
But the anniversary sale is only 2 weeks, so...
Quick, celebrate 40 years of savings at Staples with up to 50% off. Shop chairs, paper, break room supplies, and more. 2 weeks only. It's 5/23.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app.
Meet me at the Muni in Forest Park.
Muni tickets for 2026 are on sale now, featuring Hairspray, Shrek the Musical, South Pacific, Disney's Newsies, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Meet Me in St. Louis, and Something Rotten. Choose your seats now at muni.org.
Meet me at the Muni in Forest Park.
Let's talk about Air Medical memberships. In an emergency, you don't choose who transports you. Dispatch sends the closest, most appropriate aircraft. Here's what matters: speed, skill, advanced care. Like critical care crews trained for the toughest moments. Like onboard blood that can make the difference between life and death. Arch Air Medical Service delivers life-saving air medical care across Effingham and surrounding communities. When you call for help, we bring hospital-level care to you. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. And about the cost, the No Surprises Act protects patients with private health insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You're only responsible for your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. Medicare and Medicaid patients have similar protections. No surprise bills, no balance billing, no membership required. Because when it's your life on the line, what matters isn't membership, it's medicine. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
With summer here and the kids home full-time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Summer means longer days and more deals at Lowe's. This Memorial Day, shop Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil, 5 bags for $10. Plus, get select 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annuals hanging baskets, 2 for $15 to show off your favorite plants. Stop traffic with stunning landscaping and save while you do it. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
You just testified under oath you're getting more fiber in your diet, and it was easy? Where is this additional fiber coming from?
Mira Fiber Gummies.
Objection!
It's true. Mira Fiber has 8 grams of fiber to help me get the fiber I need in a day, plus 4 B vitamins for metabolism support, all in one serving.
Overruled.
My gut rests its case.
Oh, that's my line.
Find Mirafiber today at your local retailer from the makers of Miralax. Mirafiber supports metabolism of carbs, fats, and proteins. Serving size is 4 gummies.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A deadly shooting took place inside the largest mosque in San Diego County, California, on a campus that also houses a school and community center. Police say 3 people are dead, as are both of the teenage suspects who were found dead of self-inflicted gunshot wounds. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti with more.
Investigators are calling the attack a potential hate crime. The suspects, both teenagers, stormed the Islamic Center of San Diego, where, according to witnesses, they opened fire, striking multiple people.
We were having lunch and I heard at least a dozen shots. They sounded like from a semi-automatic weapon.
The gunmen then fled the scene in a car, where police say they continued firing their weapons in a nearby neighborhood before turning their guns on themselves.
Mark Furman, the former L.A. police detective convicted of lying during the O.J. Simpson murder trial, has died at age 74. Furman reported finding a bloody glove at Simpson's home, but his credibility came under attack during the trial as the defense raised the prospect of racial bias.
It looked a little sticky and moist. 2 fingers were stuck to the glove that looked like it was stuck there with some type of a liquid.
The Associated Press reports that Mark Furman died last Tuesday in Iowa, and his manager says the cause was throat cancer. A New York judge rules on evidence that can and cannot be used in Luigi Mangione state murder trial. He's accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brad Thompson. More from CBS's Lori Levinson.
The court did allow the introduction of a gun and a notebook that were found during a search at the police station. So there is still probably plenty of evidence to go against Mangione.
President Trump has ended his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. CBS's Stacey Lynn at the White House.
He agreed to dismiss the lawsuit after reports that say a settlement would create a nearly $1.8 billion fund for Americans claiming political targeting by federal agencies. Trump's legal team says the president was illegally targeted. Critics are already threatening legal challenges.
President Trump says the U.S. will not carry out a planned attack against Iran tomorrow. Trump says he made the decision because serious negotiations were taking place toward a peace deal. Parts of the plains and Midwest could get another round of severe weather after strong thunderstorms produced at least 25 reported tornadoes across 4 states yesterday. A tornado destroyed homes in central Nebraska. Bo and Michaela Broning's home in Howard County, Nebraska, was destroyed.
Kind of makes you reevaluate what's important. Family's important and everyone's safe, so.
Things can be replaced?
Yeah, houses can be rebuilt.
This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
7:03 right now. We've got storms moving through. It is 71 degrees downtown at the Arch. There is a flash flood warning that continues for about another hour, 15 minutes for St. Charles County, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City. If you know of a body of water, a creek perhaps, a roadway that tends to flood when the rains are heavy, that would be a place to avoid tonight. Flash flood warning continues for St. Charles, St. Louis County, and St. Louis City until 8:15. Looking at the radar, the heaviest of the rain, and this is not severe except for the sheer amount of rain and the flash flood potential, but there are no severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings associated with this. It is just heavy rain from DeSoto through Festus and Peevely into Valmeyer, and then stretching up through Columbia into Dupo and just to the west of Cahokia, Illinois. Is Missouri's new congressional map in effect or not? That's the question some county clerks are asking themselves, according to Clinton Jenkins, president of the Missouri Association of County Clerks and Election Authorities.
I don't have the same issues because my entire county is changing. So that just entails me going in the office, going into the voter database and switching it over, which can still be time-consuming.
Jenkins, the clerk for Miller County, says that counties split among more than one district might not have all the needed information to begin updating their voter rolls. That includes Boone County, where the clerk and Secretary of State Denny Hoskins are at odds. Hoskins says all Missouri counties have what they need to base their voter rolls on the new congressional map. Illinois lawmakers have decided it's about time to get a handle on artificial intelligence. Dave Dahl explains.
In the words of State Senator Bill Cunningham,
I don't know that there's ever been anything in the history of the country that has become so widely used with so little regulation.
AI can be a useful tool, but on the other hand,
we also see the risks, and each one of these bills is designed to deal with some of those risks. We think this is a really good start.
Senate Democrats unveiled 8 bills regulating everything from requiring big AI companies to report on their internal safeguards to recognizing suicide triggers and referring the user to help.
And another look at the Celiga Heating and Cooling Storm Center. That flash flood warning continues until 8:15. Watch out for rising waters in St. Charles County, St. Louis City, and St. Louis County. And as we get into the evening hours, we'll have the showers fade, low 67 degrees. For tomorrow, scattered showers and storms, and those storms could be strong to severe tomorrow with a high of 85. Tomorrow night's low 58 with scattered showers. For Wednesday, sun's out, high 69. Right now, we've got some thunderstorms moving through, non-severe, 71 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Welcome back to the Greybar Sports Open Line. Once again, Matt Pauley on KMOX.
We are into hour number 2 of this Greybar Sports Open Line on KMOX. We're going to talk some Battlehawks football here for a few moments. We'll jump back into Cardinals baseball later on this hour. We'll play back some of what Cardinals President of Baseball Operations Heim Bloom had to say to Tom Ackerman during sports on a Sunday morning. But we're very happy to be able to welcome on to the program right now. He is a lineman with the Battlehawks. He's been with the team for the last 3 years. It is Mike Panuk, and he joins us right now. Mike, thanks so much for taking a moment or so with us today. How are you?
No, I'm great. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a frustrating loss over the weekend because you guys came in playing great football. You'd won 3 in a row. You get down early. You have one heck of a comeback in the fourth quarter, and it just comes a little bit short. Can you just put into words the frustration that goes along with losing a game like that?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, we fell short. Kind of ran out of time there, but we know we still have a great football team. Playoff paths ahead of us. So, we'll just go back into the workshop, clean up a few things, and then we'll, hit them next week.
I know it doesn't end in a win, but when you guys are going through that comeback, when you're making lots of plays and you're coming up with a number of scoring drives there late, can you talk to me a little bit about just that feeling when you're in that, when you're the process of going through a comeback where a lot of things are going well for you and how it feels to be part of that?
Yeah, no, it feels good. I mean, throughout every single game this year, there hasn't been a moment where we didn't think we could win that game. Or any game, really. So, just still having that confidence and belief in our team. We got weapons outside in the backfield and Luis as well. So we got weapons all around. We know that all it takes is just one play to, kind of change that momentum. And we just keep leaning on each other. And, yeah.
What does it mean for you now? I mean, you are now a longtime Battlehawk. You've got some NFL stints between your Battlehawk years, but this is now your third stint and third year with the team. It's the first year under a new head coach in Ricky Prohl. But how do you view yourself almost from a veteran standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, knowing that you're one of just 3 guys who have been around for the last 3 years?
Yeah, this is actually going into my 4th year. So, you kind of just go through it. There's going to be bumps, ups and downs, but you just got to keep battling, keep putting your best foot forward. And, yeah, at the end of the day, just kind of control what you can control.
Yeah, it's pretty. Hakeem Butler and Travis Feeney, the only other guys who have been part of each of the 4 seasons here with the Battlehawks, which is really a special thing. From a physical standpoint, I mentioned the fact that you've had some stint with some NFL teams, and you had some time before you were ever with the Battlehawks with the Raiders and the Panthers. But between your Battlehawk stints, you've had some time with the Colts, you've had some time with the Saints. How do you go about keeping your body in a good spot when you're going through all of that, where prior to the season or after the season, I mean, you're jumping back and forth. That's a lot of football and a lot of time with different teams for you over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the game. You know what I mean? The game has done so much for me, and just having a team, having a good routine, just kind of knowing your body, and just being a professional athlete at the end of the day. Just being ready at all times.
One of the fun facts about you, I understand you grew up in a Polish-speaking household. Can you talk about because your brother played football as well. Can you talk about the advantage that maybe you guys had by being able to speak Polish on the field?
Yeah, so growing up, me and both my brother went to Michigan State as defensive linemen, and there would be a few times where we would speak Polish to each other to kind of give off a line stunt or something like that when we were going to go into the game. And it worked a few times, where we were able to kind of communicate and get that stunt off for either a sack or a pressure that leaded into an interception, something along those lines. But, playing with my brother was awesome. I cherish those years. And yeah, it's just been a great time.
Was there ever a reaction from the other side where guys would literally ask you what you were saying or what you were doing, or was that not really able to happen?
No, not really. I mean, there was a few times where guys after the game were kind of confused and kind of asked us, what was going on in that situation. But no, during the game, no, we didn't really have anything like that.
You mentioned you've been around with the team for a handful of years, but now that Coach Beck isn't around and Coach Prohl is, and Coach Prohl was a position coach earlier with the Battlehawks, but now he's sitting here as the head coach. And yeah, just a couple weeks ago, the Greatest Show and Turf guys were in with Coach Vermeil and a bunch of those players. What has it been like for you as you've been able to go through this year with Coach Prohl and his coaching staff?
No, Coach Prohl has been awesome. He does a really good job of, connecting with his players and being there for his players and, seeing those guys, those legends out there. I remember I was on the sideline talking to Jordan Williams, and I was like, dude, those are little walking legends in front of us. So it's cool that, he can bring those guys around and, we're able to kind of ask those questions and kind of connect and relate to them. So, Coach Prohl has been nothing but the best.
You mentioned the fact that you feel like you're playing some great football right now, and you've still got the playoff track right in front of you. The 3-game winning streak might come to an end, but now you've got a situation where You're playing Houston back-to-back. What is the feeling when that's a team that just handed you a loss, and I know it's a game that you guys feel like you should have won. Now you're going to go into their place this upcoming Sunday. Is there excitement about literally 1 week later trying to hand that loss right back to them?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're excited. You know, we hit today, watch the film as a group, know what we have to fix, know what we have to adjust, the adjustments we have to do. And, you know, we're excited to get back after them. You know, we're hungry. That feeling after a loss, you know, it's different. So we're all hungry inside that building and ready to get after them.
When you're watching the film, more often than not, especially it's late in the season at this point, is there anything that pops out on film very often that surprises you? Or when that game got over, did you kind of have the team, and I'm asking you to speak for the whole team, not just for yourself, was that one where you guys kind of had an idea of what went right, what went wrong? And yeah, film is important, but at the same time, you kind of knew what you were going to learn from that film session going in?
Yeah, I mean, we knew the mistakes, you know, on the field. We're all kind of professionals, so we kind of know the mistakes that we're doing on the field. You know, it's just a matter of fact of, you know, how consistent can we be of not making those mistakes again and over again. So, yeah, that's what it kind of comes down to.
Battlehawks in action on the road this Sunday, and then their final game of the regular season is going to be at home Week 10, May 29th against Dallas. That game might have huge playoff implications for the Battlehawks, so encourage all our listeners to start circling that on the calendar as a game that you might want to get to support them. And again, that might be one that gets them into the playoffs for sure. Mike, really good to know you a little bit. Thank you so much for taking some time, and best of luck here over the next couple weeks.
Of course, appreciate y'all.
All right, very good. That is Mike Panuk joining us on the program. Veteran offensive lineman with the Battlehawks. Again, he has been part of the last 4 years, getting to St. Louis in 2023, having a stint with the Colts and a stint with the Saints in there as well during training camp. Originally came into the NFL out of Michigan State, where he spent his entire career. And he's really been able to. His professional career began with the Raiders in 2020. It's now 2026, so he's really done a nice job of being able to put together a nice career, and continues to be a very important part of the Battlehawks. We're going to take a break, and we're going to jump right back into Cardinals baseball. Again, we'll hear some of the comments made by Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, Heim Bloom. He spoke with Tom Ackerman during Sports on a Sunday morning, so later on this hour, we will go through some of what he had to say. We'll continue to talk through where this team is at, and also there's a lot of people asking about roster moves. That's it's all over the chat that we've got in. Is the team at a point right now where they do have to infuse the Major League roster? Should they be infusing the Major League roster? We'll discuss that, and honestly, that's a conversation that's probably going to take, we're going to continue down that path over the days and weeks and months moving forward, as there's going to be some things that change as we go along. So we'll get into that coming up in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're locked in. It's Greybar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint. Don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger, to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Spring is sprung, and big savings are in full bloom at Menards. Visit Menards Garden Center for everything you need to get your garden growing. Choose from hundreds of beautiful, colorful flowers, lush trees and shrubs, and everything in between. Menards Garden Center is back in bloom. Stop in today to get your garden on. Check out fresh deals happening now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about the Burn Balance Complex, which is available at supplement superstores. And it's Burn Balance Edge for the guys. It's Burn Balance Zen for the women. And what this is very simply a complete metabolism system. It's not just a simple fat burner. It's way more than that. It works with your body to get the metabolism working the way that it's supposed to. So what you notice right away, what I've noticed here in the first couple of months is your shirt will lay a little bit flatter, your pants fit a little bit looser. It's not like that as immediate, but it comes pretty fast. This is a great natural weight loss option for people that don't want prescriptions or injections. If those aren't for you, go to supplement superstores and check out the Burn Balance Complex. On top of getting the metabolism working, you're going to get reduced stress with lower cortisol levels. You're going to have appetite control and craving control, all-day focused energy without the jitters that come with energy drinks. And look, it's not magic. You got to do things the right way, but the Burn Balance Complex makes it so much easier. So get out to supplement superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will knock 30% off the Burn Balance Complex for you right there, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Whoopah! The most mouthwatering event of the year is back. Join us this Memorial Day weekend for the St. Louis County Greek Fest at Assumption Greek Orthodox Church. Enjoy authentic Greek food, lively music, dancing, and church tours. Credit cards only. Visit STLGreekFest.com for full details.
Hey, St. Louis, need to sell your home fast? The Gelman team with eXp Realty can make you an instant cash offer in just 24 hours. No showings, no repairs, no waiting. Visit thegelmanteam.com or give them a call at 314-336-1991.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
A full 2-hour edition of a Greybar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX. My name is Matt Pauley, taking you till 8 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock, just after the 8 o'clock news, we will have our Gas House Gang replay here on KMOX. Cardinals baseball tomorrow. They open up a series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Teresa texting into the show says, I was listening to the games on the radio. I enjoyed the energy of the games this weekend. It was electrifying and seemed to be enjoyed by all. It was awesome to hear the stadium come alive. That's one of the amazing things about radio is the things that you can hear. And I think, we're lucky to have the broadcasters that we have and the way that they can let the game breathe. But yeah, there's something so satisfying about those moments between the play-by-play of a radio broadcast and just you hear the stadium, the organism that is a baseball stadium. And I enjoyed that for sure. Kyle, I heard a term that I had never heard before. Mark Sweeney was working the TV broadcast on the in-game analyst stuff, and they were talking about the tarps-off. And I heard there was at one point a conversation about chest hair, and I heard it referred to as chest lettuce. Have you ever heard that before?
Can't say that I have, Matt.
Watching your reaction to that was the best part about that was I was watching the TV broadcast at that point. Sweeney says something about chest lettuce, and Chip goes, "What?" So basically, the reaction that you just had was shared by Chip. So chest lettuce appears to be a thing.
That's wild. I might have to start using it, Matt. That's a good term, but I can't say I've heard that one before. Definitely not.
My wife had the same reaction when she had never heard that before, so that was new. So Mark Mark lives out in California. Maybe that's California.
I think it might be.
I don't know. There's a lot more people walking around California.
Right.
Without one of our texters or commenters says they talk about a guy's head of hair as lettuce. Yes, I have heard of that very often. You see somebody like who has. I'm not saying this this is going to come across in a negative sort of way. This is not negative. This is a very positive thing. When you think of lettuce as the description of somebody's hair, is there anybody on the Cardinals who comes to mind for you? I have one.
Good question. I don't know if it qualifies as lettuce. I'm just trying to think of guys with long hair. Stanek comes to mind because he's got the longest hair, but those are more locks than I would say lettuce.
Mine is Gordon Graceffo.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's more lettuce, I'd say.
Yeah. So how about his reaction coming off the mound on Friday?
That was great.
It was so good. Now, he may or may not have used some language that is appropriate or not appropriate for, places like this that are, governed by the FCC. But still, how good was just you realize how much this matters to guys. Like, you can't fake that. That's what I'm trying to. We all appreciate people who are genuine and not being fake. That's when I'm addressed by somebody in a in some sort of meeting or whatever, leadership or whatever. The one thing I want is authenticity. Authenticity is, I think, really, really important. It's something that I try to be very authentic in the way that I come across on the radio, and that's not always the most refined thing. I don't get every single thing right, but I do try to be authentic. I try to always say, be very truthful in what I'm saying and how I feel. I think that's why I get a little bit triggered sometimes when people take the shots that, I'm carrying water or I'm being told what to say or something like that. If maybe I'm defending the team about something, I get more offended by that than I should, because me being authentic is important, because I think being authentic, period, is a really important thing that we need to do. And it's different coming off the mound after getting a big out and, yelling to your team, let's effing go, is a little bit different. But the authenticity that we saw in a Gordon Graceffo, and it goes back, Kyle, to us continuously seeing how much it matters to these guys. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end of the year. This team may not be a playoff team. This team might hit a wall at game number 100 that they just never can recover from. They might lose each one of the next 4 series against divisional opponents, and it's a completely different scenario after that. All that might happen, but what won't change is the fact that they really, really care, and that can't be faked, and we're seeing that, and that's why I care that this team gets supported. That's why I keep bringing up the idea of get to the ballpark if you can, buy tickets if you can, do what you can to support this team, because I think they've earned it. And maybe I'm making too much of Gordon Graceffo. Maybe I made too much of the impact of tarps-off. Maybe I make too much of a lot of stuff. But I like what's happening right now.
I do too, especially as a quiet guy like Gordon Graceffo. We haven't seen that emotion out of him very much. And like you said, maybe that goes back to the tarps off and just the atmosphere that was at Busch on Friday night. But it was great to see the emotion. It was great to see the fans. It was just a blast on Friday night.
Our friend Kyle Reese, who does a great job covering prospects, we've had him on Sports Open Line every once in a while. I don't have time to find the tweet, but and I think it was him. I'm pretty sure it was him who tweeted this. Basically, that version of Gordon Graceffo, because he watches basically every single minor league game, and he basically said that's the first time that version of Gordon Graceffo has been seen at the major league level, but that is something that they've seen at the minor league level before. So that's that's Gordon Graceffo unleashed. So I'll say let's go. I might remove the middle word there, but I'll say Let's go. Let's get more of that from Graceffo. Let's get more of that from a lot of guys, and I've enjoyed that for sure. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, what I always like to do when we have Monday shows, we don't always have Monday shows because a lot of times the Cardinals are playing on Monday. When we do have Monday shows, what I like to do is go back through what Heim Bloom said to Tom Ackerman during Sports on a Sunday morning and kind of give my comments on that. So you'll hear that coming up in just a moment. It's a Greybar Sports Open Line here on KMOX.
This is Stories from the Pitch, brought to you by the first ever Infinity QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with new limited time deals from Lowe's.
Pasadena, the Rose Bowl, the first World Soccer Championship final ever decided by penalties. Italy versus Brazil, scoreless after 120 minutes of suffocating heat. Roberto Baggio, Ildivine Coutinho, the divine ponytail, had carried Italy here almost single-handedly. Goals against Nigeria, Spain, Bulgaria. Now he steps to the spot. Fifth Italian shooter. Brazil leads 3-2. Miss this, and it's over. Baggio strikes it cleanly, and it sails over the bar into the empty California sky. He stands frozen, hands on hips, head bowed. Brazil champions for the fourth time. Baggio would later say, penalties are only missed by those who have the courage to take them. A single image, a career defined.
Stay tuned to this Odyssey station for more Stories from the Pitch.
An important message from SNL Coins. SNL Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to SNL at 544-3600. SNL Coins, 544-3600. Or visit SNL Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call SNL, 544-3600.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
Curative, that's a complex decision that involves what we call multidisciplinary care. So that involves a surgeon, a medical oncologist, radiation oncologist. So you need the expertise, and that's something that we have here at Siteman, especially geared for these esophageal cancer patients.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Visit siteman.washu.edu.
Retirement planning isn't about timing the market. If it were, we'd all be retired by Tuesday. It's about timing your life, income streams, taxes, health care, and making sure everything works together. No guessing, no hoping, no drama. Check out the show Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg here on KMOX, Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. Let's get organized, or checkwithgary.com.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today, they've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli Tuck Pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair, their crews are very polite, and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
For men over 50, staying healthy shouldn't feel complicated. Neovitin Men's 50 Plus is a doctor-formulated daily multivitamin designed to support everyday wellness with just 2 tablets a day. You can subscribe at neovitin.com for convenient monthly delivery right to your door, or find Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Deerbirds or Schnucks. All Neovitin vitamins are manufactured in a GMP-certified facility in the USA and are designed for real, everyday routines. Make nutrition easy with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Bringing a data center online takes more than equipment. It takes precision. Greybar helps customers predict, stage, schedule, deliver, and verify every step of the build with critical products that are available now. From networking and wireless to critical power and testing tools, our teams help you reduce downtime risk and keep projects on track. Speed, scale, ready now. Yep, Greybar does that.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Back at it on a Greybar Sports Open line right here on KMOX as we are starting to come down the home stretch of today's program. When we get done at 8 o'clock, we will have our Gas House Gang replay. Lots from the show today. Chris Ranji, Brendan Schaefer hosting the program. Greg Amsinger did his weekly conversation. Also heard from Mike Claiborne, so that's all going to be up during the 8 o'clock hour. Also on the station every Sunday morning, Cardinals President of Baseball Operations Heim Bloom spends some time with our own Tom Ackerman during sports on a Sunday morning. What we like to do when we have the opportunity, when we have Monday shows, and we don't always have Monday shows because of Cardinals baseball, but when we do have Monday shows, we like to go back through some of the things that Heim said to Tom and kind of give our take on those. It's a really good conversation to listen to, and I'm sure many people listening right now, listening either live on Sunday mornings or maybe they go find the on-demand version of it. We always play the cuts as opposed to the full interview just so we can kind of jump in and comment on the comments, I guess would be a way to say that. But the Cardinals are coming off pretty good weekend. They took 2 of 3 from Kansas City. That came off a winning West Coast road trip. Today's an off day. They get back at tomorrow as they'll take on Pittsburgh. I hate that they're catching Pittsburgh in the middle of a losing streak. I've got this and it doesn't matter. I'm probably wrong, but I've got this just impending sense of doom that, you know, what is true is every losing streak has to come to an end at some point, as every winning streak has to come to an end at some point in time. So anytime a team catches a team on a losing streak, it always makes me a little bit worried that they're going to be on the side of it of the losing streak coming to an end. But hey, you know what? That being said, the Pirates' 3-game losing streak can become a 6-game losing streak very easily if the Cardinals do take care of business over the next few days. Pitching matchups, by the way, Matthew Liberatore against Mitch Keller for Game 1, Michael McCreevy against Carmen Machinsky in Game 2, and then the series is going to wrap up Thursday afternoon. Dustin May is going to go for the Cardinals, and Braxton Ashcraft is going to go for the Buccos. But let's get into a little bit of what Cardinals President of Baseball Operations Heim Bloom had to say. And look, I know this is something that's been talked about a lot, and rightfully so, and I've been right in the middle of talking about it. I am curious to see how much of it does continue the rest of the way, but we know about tarps-off out in right field, and everybody's got thoughts on it. And as Heim opened up the conversation with Tom, that is one of the first things that they talked about, and Bloom made it very clear that he has enjoyed so far the tarps-off phenomenon.
I love it. It's awesome. It's just, these are the types of things that can happen at a place like Busch with a fan base like we have. Obviously, I know that the folks who started it were out-of-towners, but when you talk about it taking on a life of its own, that can happen in some places, and it's really cool to see.
There might not be a team in baseball that has been more of a positive surprise than the Cardinals. Many people expected them to be the last-place team in the division, and right now they are in a virtual tie for second place. They have a really good record at 27-19. When you look at that 27-19 record, that is good for the 6th best record in the National League. If the season were to end right now, the Cardinals would be a playoff team. and they've got about a 3.5 game cushion on being a playoff team. Should be noted that team that they have a cushion over is the Philadelphia Phillies. Oh, by the way, they're playing great baseball since their managerial change, and they're now above 500 at 24-23. But we'll see how that goes the rest of the way. So, all that being said, expectations weren't especially high coming into the year. We've talked about it a lot. Players weren't worried about those expectations. They were worried about themselves, and they've been able to go about their business. But as they have worried about themselves and worried about their team, really a weekend like this really helps bring it all together.
And that's not to say that they don't have high standards and high expectations. They just think they're keeping their heads down and just getting after it and not really worrying about any of that other stuff. Or what people think they can or can't do, which is exactly how you want to go about it. Just focus on what you can control and all those cliches, focus on the task at hand and just taking every day as it comes and being prepared and competing relentlessly. And they're doing it. But I'll tell you what, it's just fun when you have that kind of backing from the crowd. And I think these guys have said it, they see it and it fires them up. So that's really cool.
I also think an important part of this weekend and the tarps-off deal was the connection between fans and the team. We know about the attendance, right? I'm not breaking any news here when we know that attendance has been down a little bit and it's been a fan base that either a vocal minority or a majority of people have been frustrated. A majority of people have been frustrated with the results for sure. And it's about getting fans back into the ballpark. It's also about getting fans the opportunity to be just that, be fans. And the tarps-off phenomenon, according to Heim, is really a great way for fans to connect to the team and the team to connect back with fans.
We are nothing without our fans, and we feel connected to our fans. And sometimes they feel that more than others. And when you see something like that start to develop organically, you want to feed it. Obviously, it's going to come organically. It's going to come right from our fans. Our job is to make sure we're plugging into it, feeding it, and then feeding off of it as our players are. And you could just see it. You could feel it on Friday night. We're all sort of looking with some amusement up there, what's going on. And then you start to see the players are noticing. And I don't know, that was a really tight game. There were a lot of points, obviously some points where we could have won it and didn't, and then some points where it could have gotten away from us and didn't. You don't know what those small margins are where you have to dig a little deeper and just find a way. And it is easier to do that when you have that energy behind you. You sometimes see it. It takes on a life of its own. And I think, we talk about details. We talk about small margins. The support of our fans helps push things in the right direction.
So with the Cardinals being in the spot that they're in, that conversation has started to pop up a little bit. What is it going to look like at the trade deadline? Now, there's a lot of time. There's a lot of time before that, and what happens between now and then is going to be the biggest influencer of what does happen for the team. But Heim made it very clear. He really appreciates the fact the fans are already talking about that, but at the same time does admit it's a little early to be thinking too much about that in the front office.
I love the engagement, and I love the thoughts about it. That just, obviously you don't want to let your mind go too far ahead, but part of that is part of our jobs in the front office anyway. We obviously want the guys in uniform to stay focused on what they can do every day, but we do have to start thinking and planning for that. We obviously have a little while before it's the meat of trade season, and we'll see. I mean, I love that people are talking about it, thinking about it. We don't know yet what all the opportunities will be. For me, it's just first and foremost, what we've said since the fall is, we're building towards something pretty ambitious, pretty big here, and we got to be really open-minded in terms of anything that could help us build towards that.
Let's get into some of the individuals and the things that they are doing for this team right now. Let's go to Andre Pallante. Pallante yesterday becomes the first Cardinals starting pitcher to throw a pitch in the 7th inning this year, which is wild. Who had Andre Pallante, by the way, on their bingo card for him being the first guy to do that, and who had May 17th on the proverbial bingo card as well for that to actually happen. But that's the way it goes down, and Pallante really did a nice job yesterday. And you look at he had that one start against Milwaukee that did not go well, and he really struggled in the first inning and was frustrated with him with himself after that. Since then, he had a 5-inning start against the A's, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits. I mean, that's not awesome, but it's fine. And then against Kansas City yesterday, 2 runs, 1 earned in 6 2/3 innings. That's a really, really good outing for him. And Heim talking about Palante really says that it feels like Palante very much is a different guy this year.
It just goes to show you where he's at. I don't blame people who obviously looked at last season, were frustrated with it. Andre was frustrated too. We felt pretty strongly that his ability was better than that. And what was interesting also was just seeing throughout baseball, you could see that sentiment was out there, despite the results, that people know there's a little more in there. And, we're starting to see that. Obviously, there's still more to work on. There's still ups and downs. But when he is executing well and using his whole arsenal the right way and executing pitches, it's a pretty tough at bat. It's just a very unique look. He does some different things, and his ball moves in a way that you just don't see from that many guys. Plays well into our defense, and when he is on with his secondaries and able to execute them under the strike zone, he will get some swing and miss too. So, hopefully he continues to do more and more of that as we go forward. But we're pretty pumped by some of the progress we've seen from him so far.
Now, one individual that is still really struggling offensively is Victor Scott II. He did have a 2-hit day on Saturday, so that was good, 2 for 3 with an RBI. To put that in perspective, though, he has 7 hits in the month of May, 2 of them coming in one game. He's got 21 hits on the day, so 2 of them coming in a game. That accounted for just under 10% of his total hits, and it comes in just one single day. Heim certainly acknowledges that there have been offensive struggles for Scott, but focuses in on the fact that he's working very, very hard. I'll add in the fact that he's got this skill set with his speed that if he can just find a way to get on base a little bit more often, he can be such an impactful player. That's what everybody's rooting for. That includes Heim, who says that they're hoping for more for Scott.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, you just look at the performance, and we know he struggled. He is such a diligent and conscientious person that, you can bet there's no shortage of work behind the scenes to help get him to a better place. And hopefully this is the start of something better than what we've experienced from him so far, because we know there's a much higher ceiling in there than what he's done to date.
Now, at some point in the relatively near future, there is going to be a bit of a log jam because Lars Nootbaar is going to be back. And then what's going to happen? You would think that there's a good chance that we're going to see Nathan Church playing in center field a whole lot more, and maybe Scott's going to lose some opportunities at that point. There's still a fair amount of time before Nootbaar is going to get back. When we look at what he has done so far with the Palm Beach Cardinals on a rehab assignment, he has appeared in 2 games. He's gone 2 for 3. He's hit a home run. So it has been a nice start, but he's still over 2 weeks away, you would think, from returning, and Heim did give a bit of an update on Nootbaar.
He came out of the first one doing well. Obviously, we have a progression here, and we've talked about it. I mean, he didn't have a spring training. This is a pretty significant procedure, and really because he had it done on both heels, it was significant downtime coming out of it. The rehab has gone relatively straightforwardly, but the procedure itself obviously keeps you down for quite some time. So we're going to make sure we use all the time we have to get as much of a foundation under him as we can before he comes back. And obviously there's going to be opportunity for him when he does. He's a really good player, and we're excited to have him back. What that means for the roster, what it means for playing time, I would file that for right now under not a problem. Those are the good problems you want to have when you got more good players than spots, and we'll figure it out as we get closer to that. But we're just looking forward to having him back, and the at-bat quality, the different things he can do on the field, and now seeing him move around a little bit better. It's pretty exciting.
And then one more injury update situation as Ramon Arias has not played in a while. He's been out dealing with that tennis elbow deal. He last played on May 3rd, so we're coming up on about 3 weeks now since he last appeared in a game, just over 2 weeks, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, it's been since May 3rd. His numbers this year overall, not great. When you do look at the splits and what he has been able to do against lefties versus righties, he's got his OPS against lefties because he's shown power is 11-17. He has 2 home runs, also has a double in there. So he's been pretty good against lefties. Against righties, absolutely has been a struggle, 384 OPS. So he's somebody who can still help this team. And that's something that will happen at some point. But according to Heim, there's still not much of a timeline on when that might actually happen.
Liked a lot of the things that we saw from him, kind of came in as advertised. He had been battling this. It's basically tennis elbow is essentially what it is, and he'd been battling that really since spring training, and it just finally flared up to the point where he wasn't going to be able to grind through it, and we needed to get him some downtime. So he is coming along, but obviously not yet to a point where he's ready to play in a game. And so we don't have an exact timetable mapped out. He continues to progress, but he's not really game ready at this point. So we'll see. We don't have a calendar for that yet, but hopefully that's something we'll be able to have soon once he continues to progress to the point where we can put one together.
That's kind of a rundown from Cardinals president of baseball operations and his conversation that he had with Tom Ackerman. Does that every Sunday morning here on KMOX. We're going to take one more break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this edition of the program. You're locked into a Greybar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about the Burn Balance Complex, which is available at supplement superstores. And it's Burn Balance Edge for the guys. It's Burn Balance Zen for the women. And what this is very simply a complete metabolism system. It's not just a simple fat burner. It's way more than that. It works with your body to get the metabolism working the way that it's supposed to. So what you notice right away, what I've noticed here in the first couple of months is your shirt will lay a little bit flatter, your pants fit a little bit looser. It's not like that as immediate, but it comes pretty fast. This is a great natural weight loss option for people that don't want prescriptions or injections. If those aren't for you, go to supplement superstores and check out the Burn Balance Complex. On top of getting the metabolism working, you're going to get reduced stress with lower cortisol levels. You're going to have appetite control and craving control, all-day focused energy without the jitters that come with energy drinks. And look, it's not magic. You got to do things the right way, but the Burn Balance Complex makes it so much easier. So get out to supplement superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will knock 30% off the Burn Balance Complex for you right there, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Cards and Cups. The rivalry returns to Busch May 29th. KMOX kicks off the weekend early when Tom Ackerman hosts a Redbird roundtable featuring Aussie Smith, Al Raboski, and Matt Adams Thursday, May 28th at the Beer Garden at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. We're talking ball, enjoying a cold beer, and celebrating one of baseball's best rivalries. The doors open at 4:30. The Redbird Roundtable, Thursday, May 28th. Full event details are at KMOX.com.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-355-8662. 636-355-8662 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-355-8662.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back to the Greybar Sports Open Line. Once again, Matt Pauley on KMOX.
Starting to wrap things up on this edition of a Greybar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX. My name is Matt Pauley. Cardinals off today. They get back at tomorrow. 3-game series against Pittsburgh. This starts a really fun run for the rest of the month of May where they are going to play the 4 other teams in the NL Central. Sometimes we go into like periods where we come up on kind of mile markers in the season and we say, well, we're going to know a lot more about this team when we hit this point. And we said that here just recently when they were set to do the 17 games in 17 days. That turned into 16 games in 17 days. All that being said, you could even include like that A's series coming at the end of that and just being on the road. You know, what did we really learn about the team? Well, we learned that they were continuing to play good baseball and they can seemingly compete with just about anybody in baseball right now. And the question is, will that continue? Now there's an opportunity to go play the teams in the NL Central, go play the teams that are going to be a little bit more familiar with you. That's one of the tough things about baseball and playing your divisional opponents. It's actually one of the reasons I liked it when you played more games against your division, because familiarity over 162 games and being able to beat teams that know exactly what you're going to do, that's something that I think is even more powerful and more impactful. And so sometimes I lament the fact that they don't play them quite as much as they used to, but you still play them a lot. So 3 against Pittsburgh, 3 in Cincinnati, 3 in Milwaukee, and then 3 at home against the Cubs. By the way, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet for that Cubs series, I don't know what you are waiting for. That is going to be an absolute blast between these two teams, and I'm really looking forward to that. Cardinals.com if you're looking for tickets for sure. But that's going to be May 29th, May 30th, May 31st. Hopefully that feels a whole lot like what this past weekend did, and maybe even more than that. But that's something to put to circle on the calendar for sure. But I just think, you know, playing these, they're 1-1 against Milwaukee. They swept a series against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. They haven't seen Cincinnati quite yet, and they haven't seen the Cubs yet either. We're going to know more about this team and what it's going to look like, because at the end of the season, I don't think every team in the NL Central is going to be above 500. In fact, there's a good chance that a week from now, you don't have every team above 500. Both Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are just clinging above 500 right now. They are each 24-23. The Pirates have lost 3 in a row. They just got swept by the Phillies. They're 4-6 in their last 10. Same deal with the Reds. They've lost 2 in a row. They've won just 4 of their last 10. The Reds right now, and this is kind of funny talking about this because it's always the Cardinals who have been the negative run differential team. But the Reds right now are the team with the only team with a negative run differential in the NL Central. But if those teams want to start climbing up the ladder once again, they're going to have the opportunity to do so with all these divisional teams. And if the Cardinals want to continue to keep their head above water and continue to be around the top of the division these next couple weeks against all these NL Central teams, it's going to be really important for that. So I am looking forward. I'm really looking forward to what it's going to look like between now and the end of the month. May 31st is the final day of that Chicago series, and that's going to wrap up the 4 straight series against teams from the division here in the month. And it's going to be fun to see how this plays out. Hoping that there's a good number of fans who turn out for this Pittsburgh series as well, that they took note of what occurred during the weekend against Kansas City, and more and more folks getting out to Busch Stadium supporting this team. And if you want to go sit in the right field bleachers and go not bleachers, but right field loge out there and go tarps off, I don't think anybody's going to be mad at you for sure. That is it for this edition of a Greybar Sports Open Line. Thanks so much for being with us today. Our Gas House Gang replay on the way next. Again, it's going to be Chris Ranji and Brendan Schaefer hosting it. They're going to be joined by Greg Amsinger. They're also going to be joined by Mike Claiborne. That's all coming up in just a moment or so after the 8 o'clock news. This has been a Greybar Sports Open Line on KMOX.